Okay. Hmm? Damn, the stream already up. Where's my charger port? Where's my phone?
Alright, had to go fix my drink right quick.
Mm-hmm. Let me look up this nominee stuff. Hmm.
All right, Brian. Whenever you're ready, whatever you're doing, you can go ahead and start the intro. Shit.
Okay, let me, alright. Let's do this. Crack my knuckles and shit on my drink at. On my mouthwash.
Oh my God. Somebody.
Bruh. Let me get into the mood. Alright, y'all. Welcome back to another, what is it? Fuck. VGC. And today we're going to be having Gary stream The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I think that's what it says. Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah. And with me today, we have, you know, I just said it, Gary. You have me. You have Judy. You know, all looking great in the background. And before we start this stream off, first I'm gonna give a quick RIP tribute and respect to Hiromi Tsuru, the Japanese voice actor of Bulma Breeze from Dragon Ball. We will sorely miss you, and you left us too young. And yeah, that was needed. And we're gonna begin going over the gaming award nominees and stuff like that for Game of the Year. So yeah, let's go ahead and down by then. Gary, if you would do the honors.
Okay. Brian is going to be handling the majority of the hosting because I'm not going to be able to focus on trying to play this shit on Death March and handle like initiating the discussion. So I'm going to leave that mainly to Brian as far as us going through the categories for our game nominations. And then after we do that, we'll start talking about the Battlefront 2 microtransactions, and then we'll just do like our random discussions and shit. So we'll go ahead and get started.
Alright. You want to go ahead and start with the gaming stuff, or?
I suppose you want to go ahead and get to it, or if you guys kind of want to give your first impressions on Ultra Sun and Moon, you could do that.
Okay, let's do that. Judy, you want to go first?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Yeah, alright. Well, from first glance playing the game, I see a lot of the details that have been improved on, a lot of things that I saw this time around, and overall, while it's really too early to make a good assessment of the game, I'm liking what I see so far. I'm not going to spoil too much or anything for that matter, but there's a lot of stuff that, like I said before, they improved upon that I'm really, like, quite smitten that they went with. But that in the story feels a little bit improved. I can see where they changed some details. Glad they kept some stuff the same. Glad they didn't go with the anime because we don't talk about that bullshit. And yeah, can't wait to keep playing it.
Don't want no disturbances. That clear?
Okay. So what are some like notable improvements that you see from the originals?
Well, for one thing, the inclusion of over 400 more Pokemon from fucking around in the grass already. Some notable little fixes to the story and the sequence of events, because I do see that. The battle screen, it's always been improved. Yeah, there's that. And it just feels like it flows a little bit more smoothly. It's a little laggy, like for a second or two, if it's like too much. But every now and then it works. It's great. You know. Another thing I like is that they've like diversified the music for whenever you encounter stuff, which is really fun. But they didn't get rid of a lot of the stuff they had this time last time, which is oh so fun. Cause it really would have been kind of like, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, but it would have felt weird if they kicked off all the tracks that we started off with in favor for the new ones. But they have both, and I'm really happy about that. And it just feels more complete than the first game, because the first game, truth be told, was just a story, and to be honest, playing the game in that format. But now, it feels like how a Pokemon game should. Like, yeah.
Look at that.
Okay, gotcha.
It's sportable, that blabbering about
Jay, what you think?
It's good so far. I mean, kind of feels the same
Rumors rarely find confirmation in reality.
gameplay as the first one, in the sense of the trials and stuff, but there's little details that make it different from
believe
the
I
second.
also know why you've
So,
come.
I mean, I like it so
talking
far.
side.
It doesn't feel anything out of the strange to me. So, I like it.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about it. There are some little improvements as far as detail, but overall, well, from what I played so far, it's kind of starting out the same exact way as the originals. I haven't got as far in the story as you guys have gotten, but does the story kind of play out the same way as the originals, or are there like some noticeable differences?
There are differences.
Oh, there are?
A man out
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the sense of there's two people that you meet from the beginning of the game that were not in the first one.
bloody hell.
And it seems they're talking about this blinding one, which I'm probably going to assume it's something to do with Necrozma.
Good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta be.
It's just a theory, but you meet them, and I'm not particularly sure if they're good or bad people yet, though you do battle them once. But they're pretty
Geralt of
cool
Rivia.
thus far. Aside
Locked
from
its
that,
call me the Butcher of Blaviken.
I said already.
not really
I know
that
who
much
you
any
are.
difference.
Truth be told, it's the only reason we're talking.
There's a couple changes in dialogue here and there. Other than that, she's right. There's really not a lot.
Lovely place. Swamps.
Yeah, I noticed they kind of give you more dialogue options, I guess, to kind of give your character some sense of personality.
He becomes damn.
Oh, yeah.
What are you getting at?
Many have lost loved
That
ones
the
here.
character doesn't look like a
Some their
derp this time
wives,
around when she battles,
their daughters.
or he battles, whichever one.
That wasn't in
Get
the
to the
first game.
point
What are you
already.
talking about?
Silly. That's why you've come, isn't it?
Ah,
So she was here.
That's really no difference from the first one.
Exhausted,
in that regard.
wounded, and stinking
yeah. I
up
feel
the
like whenever you,
sundown.
well, aside from the cutscenes, it's like when I was playing it and paying attention to whenever you battle, it's like you see her take poses and all this stuff. I'm like, oh, that looks like I can see subtle differences because compared to before, his face or her face never really moved. I mean, that probably might just be me, but
Their faces are exactly the same. I don't know what you're talking about.
You must got that special edition, because I don't know what you're talking about either.
special edition.
There really is no difference. I mean, I don't see it. The only thing that's probably different is the fact that you can do like photo mode, and you can take pictures with like the Pokemon you get or when they evolve and stuff. When you pass a trial, then they have this photo booth that is in the first city, which wasn't in the first game. That's pretty neat. But aside from that, the character is really the same. It's the clothes choice changes, but the character itself does not change. It's the same damn design.
Yeah. That and they gave you lipstick for like the female. Did they always have that for y'all or?
Yeah.
Never mind. I was about to say they added that, but I've always stuck to the boys' side. So,
No, lipstick was always a choice. Well, that doesn't change.
okay. What else? One thing I do notice is that they worked on the whole Dexter thing, where it's like if you encounter something you don't know, it's like, oh, it's something I haven't seen before.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Rotom definitely is a lot more detailed than the first one. Gives you a lot more options, like the Loto thing. That's pretty.
Yeah.
The little gimmicks that it gives you, really helpful.
Yeah.
It actually talks to you, which is really cool at the same time.
It has more personality.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is.
Hello there. Are you lost?
A little, I guess. Are you?
What else?
Yes. Though also just a little.
Does that mean you know which way to go?
Not
The
quite.
Manton surfers.
But I'm sure
I
we'll
love
find a way
that.
we'll set off together.
What happened to you?
Yeah, that's interesting. I like that.
Yeah, it was fun as shit. I think that my favorite part with that was they let you literally surf from one island to another instead of just surfing on a wave somewhere and going back.
He said he would wait.
Yeah.
So I started down the trail. Then I saw a butterfly, and I ran to catch it, and I lost my way.
Your father.
I think that's pretty much it. Besides those people Judy and we have been encountering that you meet from the
Not to break out
beginning.
fast with.
Talking about the blinding one stuff.
I was
Yeah.
We'll get to the bottom of that as we play. So
Your parents must have been angry.
Mother said I should be spanked, but Father said wouldn't do no good. Too many mouths to feed anyway. Sending me down the trail of trees.
So I guess we can go ahead and go into our choices for the Game Awards.
yeah.
You and your father. When did you leave home?
This morning,
And did the sun
So we're just
warm
going in
your
for the
face on your
nominees.
it warmed my back.
back? So
Yeah,
it's
you can just read the categories and the nominees for the categories that actually matter.
Lose their children.
And then,
Actually matter.
We can't
yeah,
go
because they got a lot of bullshit in there that I don't know why it's in there, but they just, I guess, threw it in there. But yeah, we can skip over that bullshit.
Alright.
No kings among wolves.
These have one.
And
Let's
you
see
see
if I got
them?
it right.
Yes. I mean, no. From behind a
Mobile
tree.
game of the year.
He was huge, with giant eyes and great fangs, and he was terribly, disgustingly horrific.
No, fuck that.
See what I've got on
Guess
my
we're
back?
skipping tabletop too.
Wolves fear it. Kings do
You
too.
know it.
Come.
Esports.
Hell yeah.
Trending game of the year.
Nah.
Fan creation.
Nope.
Excellence in design.
Quick.
What games are in that category?
Dishonored 2 came out this year too, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it did.
Yeah, Dishonored 2, Inside, Overwatch, Uncharted 4, The Witness, or some shit.
Yeah, you can put that in there. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the nominees. And you want me to go ahead and say the winner, or?
Well, the awards haven't started yet. They don't start until the 7th. We're just giving our personal choices.
Oh, okay. Excellence in gameplay. Dark Souls, Dishonored 2. Doom is one of them. Firewatch and I Expect You to Die. Let me see. The most fulfilling community-funded game.
No. Dude, you know the ones that ain't worth talking about. So...
My father could do that.
Mine could do a lot more.
Let me go. Let me just go find them straight nominees and shit. Wow.
Look! There's something there.
Nominees.
Wait here.
The Game Award
Don't come any
for
closer.
Game of the
No,
Year.
Bud, stay
Let me
here.
see.
I must see
Everybody,
something.
let's see. Player Unknown's Battlegrounds, Persona 5, Horizon Zero Dawn, Super Mario Odyssey, and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Those are the ones nominated for Game of the Year, which I'm not surprised by.
Bloodshot, but still moist. He died
What
recently.
else? Best Game Direction, Horizon Zero
why
Dawn.
don't you just go one by one?
Oh, you're gonna go ahead and just focus on the others?
No, I was saying like you brought up the category so that way we can go ahead and give our choice and then discuss why.
Okay. Yeah. Alright. So which one you want to go in depth to about first?
The first category is Game of the Year, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one I said. Yeah.
Okay, you can just go ahead and start from there.
Alright, so the
Lips
first
parted
one, already off the bat, is Horizon Zero Dawn.
Clear through his tongue. Immense pain before
That's
death.
your Game of the Year?
So yeah. Truthfully, it's between Horizon Zero Dawn and Persona 5. I haven't had the chance to play Odyssey or Breath of the Wild yet, so.
Something picked him up
And
and threw him
I
against
never
the tree.
touched Player Unknown's Battleground, so I don't know what the fuck that is.
It tore his leg off.
Okay, so why did you choose Horizon Zero Dawn as your Game of the Year?
Stay there and look away.
Well, for one thing, it deserves it. It has superb. Aloy is already a superb female character in gaming as it is. Then add on to the fact that the game is fun, it's exhilarating, it's different for one thing, but it's different in a good sense. And I never thought I'd say this, but that's probably one of the very first games where I hunt something and get completely immersed in it, for one thing. And we're not going to leave out the level design because it's one of the best I've ever
I
seen.
can make a blade oil.
And it's probably one of the most creative games I've seen this year.
No.
One,
Far
not
more
all of them.
special oil. With dog tallow, there's parsley.
I get you. I mean, the way that you describe the game, I mean, it kind of seems like a game that once you pick it up, you would have a really hard time putting it down.
Did your father
Yeah, because I mean, once first time I picked up and started hunting, it was pretty much, I didn't want to stop. Like,
So why did you put
I
it
literally
down?
you know what?
He only went hunting, but didn't do the story.
That's
know
what
what?
I'm getting
I
at.
had to just-
I'm just saying, the fact that you actually chose Horizon Zero Dawn as your game of the year and you haven't even finished it baffles me. Like dead ass, you should have just gone with Persona 5. At least you finished that.
You know
miraculously.
what? Wow.
You and your bullshit, man. I swear.
You had to come with me, didn't you? You
Please. So one of us was gonna do it, and it was gonna be me. So.
God damn it. Have you ever gotten a war? It's like most merciless. Jesus fuck. With a sweat rag.
I'm glad to be a savage.
Oh god. Anyways.
I was just actually just wanting to wait and see if you were actually going to pick Horizon, and of course you picked Horizon.
I hate
Because,
y'all.
I got to hunt 101 Striders, and it was fucking awesome. That's exactly why it was Game of the Year for me, because I exploited the fuck out of fire arrows. And it was lit.
I hate you so much for this right now.
You brought this on yourself, man. This is your fault.
You actually, You really
Send the
did.
children out to follow the sweets.
Son of a
Sometimes they
bitch.
send their children.
Take that L
Sometimes
with
they give
pride,
themselves.
man.
Do they want to return?
No, why would they? They've plenty to eat when they're
And the reason I bring that up is because, oh, Jay got. Okay, we'll just wait for Judy to get back.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
This way, through the cave.
You lead.
It won't take her long. So who are we? We're playing as one of what's the name's old flames.
Siri?
Is this one of who is it? The main character of The Witcher's love interest?
No, this is pretty much Siri is her adoptive father, pretty much.
Oh, her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm good. Yeah. So that's who that was at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you talking? Who you? No, if you're talking about the beginning, that was Yennefer, the one with the black hair.
No, the didn't he have like a younger, like, you know what I'm saying, with white hair that was around that he was training or something?
Yeah, that's her. Well, that was her as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. Okay, welcome back. As you were saying, Gary.
Oh, yeah. The reason why we were bringing this up and basically roasting your ass for this shit is because one of the Xbox fanboys on YouTube, he picked that PlayerUnknown's Battleground game as Game of the Year, but he never even played the game. But the only reason he picked it was because it was the only game in that category that's coming to the Xbox.
That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
What do you expect from a fanboy?
I mean, I at least played Horizon to say something, but to the fact that, oh, you know, it's just coming on Xbox, that's kind of just, wow.
He literally sucks Microsoft dick. What do you expect?
That's really, really fucking sad.
I mean, when I heard that shit, I couldn't believe it. But then again, it was like, I'm not that surprised because how people take this console war fanboy shit to heart the way they do. But to sit there and pick a game for your Game of the Year and you never even played the game, that's just embarrassing.
Either way, that shit. I could straight up say I have never even fucking heard of what is it called? What is it?
PUBG. Yeah, it's called PUBG for short. And the thing that's funny is that the game hasn't even been officially released yet on the console. It's right now it's pretty much just a PC exclusive. So it's supposed to be coming to the Xbox sometime before the year is up. So theoretically, it's incomplete. So that's why people were saying that. Why was this game being nominated in the first place when it's not even finished? You know, it should have been replaced with something like Nier Automata or Neo or something like that. That's actually a completed game. But
Nier.
Yeah.
Nier should have been in there. I don't understand why the fuck. You know what? No.
Neo's fucking amazing, so that definitely. I'm so glad that it actually did go into the best action. So I'm actually glad for that because
at least it got it, but it really irks me that Nier is not regarded, and I'm like, why the fuck is this game not elite? You know what? I get
like
salty.
Gary said, like with Persona 5, the reason Persona games are way more on the map is because of Persona 5. But look how long it took for it to be in the highlight that it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was only like hardcore Persona people that were, you know, they knew about the games, and obviously Persona 5 was gonna be a hit for them. But for noobs who didn't know about it, like, you know, like we did, then it was like, oh, now we understand why, you know, it's such a great franchise. But that's like with Nier as well. Nier is one of those like games that are really under the radar because only people who are like really know the JRPG and all that, and probably read the light novels about it and stuff, would know about it. I didn't know about Nier at all until I saw about the game. Gary told me about it, but I didn't know what it was. But I'm glad that I got to know what it was about, because it's an amazing game, and I do hope that whatever sequel does come out from it, that it brings the game itself more into the light, like it did with Persona.
I agree.
Alright, so for my choice for Game of the Year, it's no surprise, it's definitely Persona 5. I mean, I just don't really know what else I could really say about it. I mean, it's without a doubt the best JRPG I've played probably since I played Final Fantasy X. I mean, it's been that long since I really enjoyed playing JRPGs. I went actually on a pretty extended hiatus from JRPGs around the time after Final Fantasy X and X-2 came out, because I kind of just felt that they were just kind of being just somewhat lackadaisical with the games that they were putting out. But even though I did play Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, which was, of course, Persona became its own franchise from it, I think, around 2007. And by that time, I didn't have a PS2 anymore, so I knew absolutely nothing about that Persona was an extension or a spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei until later. But once I did finally sit down and play Persona 5, I was just completely blown away by it, from the art design to the gameplay, how stylish it was, the music, the characters, the story, just everything was just spot on for me as far as what I could ask for from a game. And really, it reinvigorated my desire to play JRPGs. And then I went back and I bought Persona 3 and I bought Persona 4, and I'm looking to buy, you know, all the other spin-off games, because I'm just interested in kind of going back and looking into this universe that was created because of P5. And my hat's off just to Atlus. I mean, Atlus has, of course, been putting out fantastic games for umpteen years now, but P5 was just, it's an experience that I've never had before in a game. And I'm just happy that I was able to experience it. Now, I didn't pass this up and I gave it a shot, because it's one of my top 5 favorite games of all time now. So it's just awesome. That's all I can really say.
Well put.
And unlike Brian, yes, I did finish the game, and it's my game of the year. That's it.
I finished it, remember?
You didn't finish Horizon. That's the point I'm making.
Oh no, I thought you was talking about Persona.
No.
Yeah, they even got halfway through Horizon.
What is halfway?
Where you are at. Just a little further back.
Just a little further.
Might not.
You just need to actually finish this game before New Year's. Because if you don't,
That's downright striking.
I'm gonna be so pissed off.
Any chance for that reward?
You get pissed off at everything.
What kind of ignorant statement is that?
Yeah.
Who told you I got pissed off at everything?
That's
See,
good.
that just
That's
hurts me. No,
Where's my
deadass, that
egg?
just really hurts me.
I'm not eating in.
I don't even want to talk to you.
Pleased you like it. Had them prepare a
Yeah.
bath for you once you've eaten. And you could do with some sleep. Gretke in the nook behind
I have
the
nothing,
bar.
damn it.
You in the
I don't
guest
care.
rooms.
I really don't want to talk to you, to be honest.
What?
Shh. Eat now. We'll speak once you've rested. So I ordered my men to watch her and left her to rest.
And
Ah, a topic for another time.
Alright, Jay, so what's your game of the year?
Horizon. It's my game of the year.
Okay, so get what you're at. 1 sec. Okay, so why is it your game of the year? What did you love about it?
I loved everything about it.
Take it you
honestly.
won't give me this information for free.
Just from Aloy's story, her struggle,
I regret
her
your
road to
loss.
discovery about herself, the
But you
world
see,
she lives
it
in,
so
and
happens my wife
the
and
old
daughter are
world
missing
that was
as well.
before theirs.
I propose
Just everything
an
truly touched
exchange.
me in a very
Find my loved
personal
ones,
way.
and I shall
I
tell
just
you
enjoyed the
about
whole
the girl
the
you
whole
seek.
game enough
All I know.
to challenge myself playing it ultra hard, which is still amazes me that I even got through in that. So I definitely feel like Horizon definitely deserves the recognition that it does. It's an amazing game, and I feel like if people haven't played it yet,
Fine. I'll
then
help
I
you.
think you should
I'll
give
find
yourself
your
the
family.
chance to play it.
Then you'll give me every bit of
Um,
information you have.
Had
You
Nier
have my
been in the
word.
category, Nier definitely would have been my game of the year. I feel like that's
This man's
probably
under
the
my
best game in
protection.
every
No one's
single
to
way.
bother him in
that-
any way.
The best one I played this year, and in a long time, it's
Don't
probably
stare,
the
I've not
JRPG
drunk
that
holes.
definitely got me
Treat it as a token
back
of my
into
good
having
faith.
faith in
When do you see them
JRPGs.
last?
But
Vanished
unfortunately, it
after
didn't
the
make
new
it to that
moon,
category.
as if
But
whisked away by
Horizon
shadows.
definitely
What do you mean,
proved
vanished?
to me that it's also an amazing
Precisely
game. I'm
that.
glad I
I awoke
bought
one
it when
morning
I
to
did,
find him gone.
and yeah, that has good replay value as well. And I would love
I'll
to see
need
a
to know a
sequel.
lot more than that. Can I see their rooms?
What for?
I need clues. Anything
Okay.
to latch onto.
So I was actually going to ask you about that. If Nier had been nominated, where would you have picked it for Game of the Year? But you had already answered that, yeah.
Yeah, 100% Nier would have been. Nier is perfect to me in every single way. I actually can't find a flaw. I think the only flaw I find in Nier is that it gives me too many emotions that I can't take. But aside from that, I think it's an amazingly perfect game, and I don't know what will come after Nier Automata, but whatever does come, I am absolutely ready to embrace it. Because if this game already touched me the way it did, anything that came after this, I'm definitely giving it the chance.
Got you. All right, Brian, I guess we can go ahead and move on to the next category.
What would that be, like best game direction? Or
What's the next category?
When she was a babe.
the next one is for the thing is like best game direction. That's pretty much it.
Haven't got a clue.
Okay, what are the nominees?
Is that Deer's
That would be Horizon Zero Dawn, Resident Evil 7, Biohazard, Super Mario Odyssey, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus.
I pity any bastard who's hurt her.
Okay, so what's your selection in that?
Damn it. Jam
Considering the only one of those is Horizon Zero Dawn, I could have played. I mean, there's not really much I can say.
In their return, I want everything to be as I left it.
Cause I haven't played the new Resident Evil. I don't have a Switch to play Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. And have y'all ever played Wolfenstein? Because
I have not. I've heard mixed reviews about the sequel that just came out. Most people have been saying that the first Wolfenstein in this trilogy was way better, but yeah.
Judy, have you ever played that one, or?
Look happy enough.
Excuse me?
I said, have you ever played the Wolfenstein series, or?
No.
Gotta wonder who wanted to hide the hole. And what's on the other
Nah,
side.
but truth be told, that was the first time I had actually heard of it.
Yeah, I think, has anyone else played any of the other games in that category outside of Horizon?
Yeah, I played Breath of the Wild.
Oh, okay. So what do you think is better, Zelda or Horizon for the game direction?
Fresh flowers. He
Horizon.
expects them to return any minute. Takes hope.
Definitely Horizon. I love Breath of the Wild, don't get me wrong, I've had a fun time playing it, but the story and the direction it went, it was nice, but it wasn't as grandiose to me as Aloy's. It wasn't as complex as Aloy's. I loved what they, open worldish wise, yeah, it was great, but I felt like they probably focused a lot more on that than the actual story. If that story had been a little more detailed, had more content, then it probably would have won it for me. But Horizon definitely took that one out of the park for me. So, yeah, I'm going with Horizon.
Yeah, I'm going with Horizon 2 by default, but I guess kind of going back to Zelda with Breath of the Wild being the very first time that Zelda game was or is open world. I definitely do agree from what I've seen that they really just put more of an emphasis on you can go and do whatever you want. You can go and explore wherever you want and all the shrines they gave you. So it's really more so about, enjoying the journey itself. But I think whenever they put out the sequel, if there's going to be a Breath of the Wild 2 or if they decide to go with a completely new direction, I definitely think that they need to focus on creating a more engaging story from what I've seen. Because is that what you would consider to be like the weakest part of the game is the story?
It is, but at the same time, I feel that because I guess to me this felt like it was kind of like a test trial to ease us to the idea of this new open world for Zelda, since it was so new. So I feel like it wasn't it still engaged you regardless, because you got this chance to explore every nook and cranny of this world. But that's what really made players go into extensive hours into it, which was fun. But if we're gonna break it down to what actually matters, in my opinion, which is the story and how it flows, it was incredibly short. There's literally only 15 quests that relate to the main story. And there's like 70-something side quests and around 44 other types of quests. So what you're mainly doing in the game is side quests and looking for shrines and looking for Korok seeds and all that stuff. But the main story was incredibly short. But I also feel like this was probably a way to ease people to the idea of open world. That way, when the next game comes and it also contains the open world theme, people will, be already used to that and just want to focus more on what the story can bring you. That's how I see it. So this was like an experiment in my eyes.
Yeah. I definitely agree. Like I said before, that Horizon should get the award for best game direction. Even though there have been games in the past that had elements of using like prehistoric robotic animals, but it hasn't been done in the fashion that they were able to do with Horizon. And also, considering the fact that Guerrilla Games, who's a developer for Horizon Zero Dawn, after coming from Killzone, which is a first-person shooter, for them to turn around and go from that and to create this beautiful, lush, open-world action adventure game in the fashion they were able to do so is really impressive, because most companies aren't going to allow development teams to really experiment. They kind of just want you to stick with what's been working and what people have been buying, and Killzone has been a pretty successful franchise for PlayStation for quite some time, going back to the PS2. But that's, I think, was definitely one of the things that helps keep Sony on top the way they've been for well over 20 years now, is that they have faith in their developers, that they're not just going to force them to sit and create the same game, over and over and over again, the same franchise. They actually have faith to let their developers go out, take chances, and create new IPs, and just see what happens. And I think what we have with Horizon Zero Dawn, I think that Aloy has the potential to be one of the next flagship franchises for Sony, like the same way that Nathan Drake and Uncharted was for PlayStation all those years. I definitely think that Aloy and Horizon have the potential to pick up where Uncharted left off. I mean, even of course, we got The Last of Us coming up, but I think that Aloy is probably going to be the new flagship person for upcoming PlayStation games.
So you see her as the new mascot for Sony PlayStation?
Definitely think that she has the potential. We have to see what they're going to be doing with Horizon for the sequel, because unlike Uncharted Drake's Fortune, Horizon was a hit right from out the gate. I mean, Drake's Fortune is a really good game, but Uncharted didn't take off until Uncharted 2. But with Horizon was a hit right off the bat, so it's already has plenty of end of the year nominations, so that's only really going to put the pressure on Guerrilla Games when it comes to the sequel, as opposed to what Naughty Dog had to do with Uncharted. Drake's Fortune was good, but it didn't get great until the sequel, whereas Horizon was great right from the beginning. So we're going to have to see what they do with the sequel, because there's definitely going to be really high expectations for Horizon Zero Dawn 2. But I think they can do it. The world they created, all they really have to do is just keep expanding on what they built. I'm not exactly sure where they're gonna go with the story, but it'll be interesting to see what they do. I'm interested in discovering more about Aloy's story, where she's going, what she's gonna be doing moving forward, the new power that'll be introduced. So it'll be interesting to see.
I just hope they give us the ability to ride Thunderjaws.
That's the only thing you have to possibly think about to want, is that you want to ride a Thunderjaw?
Well, no, but I mean, it is kind of the one thing I have been thinking about with it.
The question, I think, is, would a Thunderjaw even allow itself to be ridden? I don't think it would.
Let's go.
There's always override. Just override him, make him fight for you. Maybe he'll give you the ride.
I still just can't see you just going around riding a giant-ass robotic T-Rex.
Go.
But that's just me.
I can get you.
But yeah, so what's the next category?
The next one is Best Art Direction, and for that we have, Best Narrative. For that we have Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, Horizon Zero Dawn Again, Nier Automata: What Remains of Edith Finch, and Wolfenstein 2 again.
Alright, Jay, I think you've played, what, 3 out of 5 of those games? So, I'm interested in seeing what's your choice on that.
I definitely, it's really hard considering that all 3 games have incredible narratives, because Hellblade was really underrated, but when you play the game and you see Senua's path into saving the love of her life, it definitely is an incredibly intense narrative, because you see into a person who has this mental illness, but doesn't let that stop her from going on this perilous journey to save what she loves. And I think that was an incredibly powerful message, and it definitely touched me a lot. But then I think Nier also did the same for me in a different way, because I honestly cried up many times playing Nier, and the story and a lot of things about it just really grasped at my heartstrings. Horizon did the same, but not at the level that Hellblade or Nier did. But if I had to choose, I'd definitely go with Nier.
Okay. All right, Brian. So, what's your pick here?
I'm gonna go with Nier, honestly. That's my pick for it. I mean, I've seen Judy play Hellblade, and what I can say, it looks really great for the whole direction. But I would like to at least play it myself first before making that assumption, so I can get a feel. But and I'm not saying Horizon doesn't have a good, you know, driving narrative, but at the same time, I still haven't finished it yet. And like she said, it doesn't exactly hit levels with Nier. Because with Nier, I literally had to take breaks because it literally got so overwhelming for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, this with Nier, for one thing, the symbolism already hits hard enough. Then with the story and how everything, like it first started out, it was already good. Then it just started progressing and getting more better. And I'm just like, whoa, like holy shit, this is really, like you really got thrusted into a shit bucket, like as soon as you hit like ending C. And I'm like, hold on, I need to put this game down, take a break, come back to it, because this is a lot of shit to process. Like, it really is hard to fucking play. Not, like, in a sense, you know, difficulty-wise, I mean, it does kick your ass, but still. But no. Nier is probably one of the most strongly written and psychologically based games I've ever played.
Yeah, because how many endings does Nier have in total?
26.
26?
I thought it was 27.
It's 26, but there's an extra ending that you don't get unless you finish the DLC.
Extra ending. That's
yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go with Nier as well. I mean, just from a technical perspective, to create a story that has 26 endings, that I think most people like. Judy, how many times did you have to play the game before you were able to get all the endings for it?
I probably played through the game. Well, the thing is, after you defeat it the first time, you can just select like specific chapters to go into the different endings, because there's only some endings that you find in certain chapters. So I think to get all 26, I went through. To 25, I think I probably went through the game like 4 times to get the 25, but ending Y was the one that took me the most time, because that one required you to have every single weapon in the game, and they all had to be leveled up to their highest capacity. So that one did take me a while because I hadn't found a lot of the weapons, so I had to literally go around the game and explore every place I probably hadn't caught on to get every single weapon and upgrade them with the materials they needed. So, and you have to be the highest level, which wasn't really completely hard to do, so I did have to take time on that one. But and then when the DLC came out, it took me a while to beat the DLC because some parts can get a little hard. So overall, I think it took me about a month to get every single ending, plus the extra DLC ending. So yeah.
Yeah, because I know that some people say they had to go through the game like 3 or 4 times to acquire every ending for the game, and just to have a story that's that engaging and complex, to have people want to play the game that many times to understand the full world that Nier Automata has to offer is remarkable in itself. And on top of that, I love cyberpunk, so this game definitely takes influence from Blade Runner. So after, you know, going through that, I was automatically hooked into the story as far as dealing with those difficult questions regarding philosophy and what exactly does it mean to be human, and, you know, what exactly does it mean as far as human association and fellowship and brotherhood, all those complex questions that you really can't, there's not exactly a right or wrong answer for it. It's just a matter of your own personal perspective on the idea itself. So seeing how that unfolded in Nier Automata from the endings I've been able to get is outstanding. Especially considering the fact, even though I didn't play the original Nier that was on the PS3, but as far as the overall ratings that game got, it was like used like around like a 7 out of 10. It wasn't exactly highly reviewed or like, you know, claimed like that, but to see what Platinum Games was able to do with Nier Automata, and, you know, now I think that the franchise moving forward is definitely going to be considered one of those major reputable JRPG projects moving forward. So yeah, I don't exactly know where the story is going to be going moving forward. I think with the way that it does end, they're going to have to move into somewhat of a new direction. But if they just continue following the formula they've been able to create with Nier Automata, I don't think they're going to really have any issues moving forward. They just got to just continue building on what they created, and I think they're going to be just fine.
Princess, which princess?
I can agree with that.
Princess, my goat. She's fled.
Yep, so that's that. So what's up next?
Can we get back to the auguring?
Best art direction.
Possible. No goat. Won't work.
And for that, we have Cuphead, Destiny 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5, and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Princess, princess, where have you got to go?
Alright,
I'll
so
The bell. The little bell's ringing.
I guess I can go first with that. Excuse me. Even though I didn't play Cuphead, I definitely have to give the creators props, because when I found out that that entire game was drawn by hand, I was like blown away. I mean, definitely have to give them respect for creating, you know, that animated world the way they did, and it was all done by hand. I mean, there's no denying the greatness in that, because that's a great looking game to be all drawn by hand. So major props to those guys for being able to create that. But I'm definitely going with P5 on this one. I don't think I've seen a game that's that stylish and artistic from every angle possible, not just in the gameplay, but from the text box to the interaction throughout the city to the menu when you're just going through the settings, the way that kind of cartoon anime thief vibe they have going there. That just completely hooked me in as well. All the colors and the all-out attack poses and the way the combat flows and the stances and the poses they do. It's just a cool-ass game just to look at aesthetically. I mean, even without playing it, I mean, it's just hard to deny that the game just looks fucking fantastic, and the way they were able to really follow the whole like Phantom Thief Lupin the Third theme. It was just really cool in doing and seeing how they were able to put that together. I wouldn't say that like visually it's not exactly the best game as far as graphics, because I think it was held back to an extent because the game also came out for PS3, and I think it was actually only intended to come out on the PS3, but because the game was delayed for so long, they just put it on the PS4 as well. But just from an artistic perspective, as far as the color schemes and the drawing and the anime references, I'm gonna definitely have to go to P5. But Cuphead is also gets a second vote for me, even though that I didn't play it, but it still looks fucking great. But P5 all the way for me.
I can agree with that. I just think it's too colorful for my eyes, but I can appreciate Persona 5.
Which one? Cuphead?
Persona 5. There's a lot of times my eyes couldn't stand the colorfulness of it all. It really gave me headaches a lot, so I'm gonna have to... I can agree that it looked... Excuse me?
I said all that red from the start menu, from the, like, everything else.
Just colors. Just colors in general. I don't like colorful things. So...
Yeah.
This way, I think.
I can agree. Hands down, Cuphead, I like the whole old-timey cartoon vibe it gives for that, but in Horizon has probably some of the best backgrounds. Like, it literally looks like something out of a painting, and it's just like really beautiful, and it captures some of the best wilderness graphics I've ever seen. But I gotta go with Persona 5 on this because all my life I've always wanted one of those flashy aesthetic games to come in and just wow me, and I've never found it. I think I pretty much found that at Persona 5 because I've never seen a game that damn well put together. Like even the menus are beautiful, everything. That's like I literally just opened the start menu just to look at it, and I don't ever do that for any game.
Here goat.
Even the intro is even great. That's just crazy, man. So yeah, my vote is going to Persona 5.
Should have known it would be stubborn.
Okay.
Let me see. So that's that category. Okay.
Did Jay give her
Did you?
I don't know. Seems you weren't paying attention because I didn't.
No, you said about it was being too colorful, but
I never agreed that it was my favorite though.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
I don't.
Come on.
Well, I'm going Breath of the Wild, so.
Oh. So was there? What did you like about it particularly?
Strawberries.
You know, I'm really just annoyed talking to you.
But why?
I'm not even trying to ruin the mood, but you're just really annoying the fuck out of me.
Oh.
Like, honestly. I don't know what it is, but you're just kind of annoying me today.
I don't mean to.
Come on, damn it.
Well, it happened. I just asked you one thing. Don't ever make ignorant assumptions about me ever again. Just,
I didn't.
I just asked for that. Because honestly, that kind of throws off my whole mood. Okay.
I mean, I was only joking a little bit, but I didn't
It's not
mean.
joking to me, honestly. It wasn't.
No,
Unfortunate.
I did not. I did not mean to just fuck up the whole mood at all. But
Well,
you know.
did. And I take a lot of things you say as a joke. So, honestly, but there's some things that will annoy me. And that is one of them. Because I don't know, if there's one thing that actually does irk me when people say that shit about me.
No, I didn't. No, I did not mean to. No.
Well, I hope you never say it again. That's all I ask.
I can be really impulsive sometimes. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I don't know.
I'm not asking you to explain yourself. All I'm asking is to just let me do some shit again. That's all I'm saying. I don't care if it's a joke or not. I don't want to hear it. So, to give my opinion, which you obviously ignored, it definitely be Breath of the Wild, simply because I like the watercolor aspect of it. Definitely it's one of my favorite painting styles. And a lot of people might complain that it all looks like all watered down, but I personally enjoyed every piece of scenery in Breath of the Wild, where it went to rivers and mountains and valleys and plateaus. Everything about it aesthetically pleased me in a lot of ways. So my personal vote will definitely be Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that, even though that, of course, the main complaint that people were having was that because it was mainly designed for the Wii U, I think the Wii U was running at, I think, 720p, and I think it gets up to about 900p if you're playing it on the Switch in dock mode. But even with that, it's still just a great looking game as far as, you know, the world they were able to create, especially once again coming from how linear the other Zelda games were. How is Wind Waker? Is that like extremely linear? Because I know like you're able to do a lot of like sailing in that, I think.
Wind Waker, it's kind of a mixture of both to me, because the open world definitely comes into play when you're riding on the Red King, where you're just going around the whole ocean of the map. So in that sense, it does feel open worldish, but it still doesn't feel like Breath of the Wild, because you're still kind of limited to go to certain places and do certain things. Like you can't climb everything, you can't, you know, go on everything and stuff. So what really makes it feel open worldish is just riding around the ocean. But when you're in like islands and stuff, it still feels linear like the other games do. So it's a mixture of both. The art style kind of reminded me of Wind Waker at first, but definitely a lot cleaner and not so cartoonish like the Wind Waker.
I bet we can be friends in time. You've got that all-important quality every roach has.
But yeah, definitely not on the same degree of open world as Breath of the Wild. Not even close.
Okay. Cool.
Now you can move on, Weenie, and you know, say the other categories.
Next is best audio. No, best score of music. Destiny 2, Nier Automata, Mario's, you know, Super Mario Odyssey, and Breath of the Wild.
Dearest, sweetest goat.
We have a pretty, that's a pretty good one, to be honest.
I'm just kind of upset Horizon's not in there.
Horizon did have a good soundtrack, I'm not gonna deny.
It had an amazing soundtrack. What are you talking about?
It did.
Like, it definitely gave life to the whole world.
Anna and Tamara
like, honestly.
might be in danger.
The White Wolf helped the Pella.
Do you think that Breath of the Wild really has a soundtrack that should have been nominated? Because mainly what I've seen from the gameplay is that really the sound in the game is really just like being outside.
I mean, the music does change in certain parts of the game, but to see that it has that soundtrack that's incredibly engaging, like the other games would, absolutely not. No. It's very pleasant to listen to, it is. I'm not gonna sit here and say it was bad, like a lot of people make it out to be, because it definitely gave life to the world in itself, but to make it into the best score, I don't think it had the potential to be in that, no.
Alright, because the way that I kind of like to judge as far as the importance of music in a game is that if you took away the music in the game, how exactly would that be able to impact your overall enjoyment? So it's like, as far as the games that are nominated, if you take away the music in P5 and take away the music in Nier, it's not the same game, because the music is completely integral to creating the overall environment for the game. And I think if you take away the music from Breath of the Wild, even though it is nice, I don't think that changes the overall perception of the game, because it's more centered around embracing the wilderness. So I definitely think that Horizon should have been nominated over Breath of the Wild.
Indeed. I think the same.
Mentioned a child. Whose? Why?
Okay, so I guess with that in mind, what are you guys going with for best soundtrack?
Baron didn't mention
Nier.
it.
Afraid, perhaps.
Definitely Nier.
Yeah, I know you love the soundtrack for Nier, so I mean you've been talking about it all year.
I'm absolutely mesmerized by it. I still am.
So what impressed you the most about the soundtrack?
I just feel like every song has its own story. I mean, apart from the game already having, carry the story as it is, every song in every specific place just adds more to the depth of, what you're playing. And that's completely mesmerizing. Because it just adds so much more life to the ambience of it all.
Only comes to those who suffer.
It's definitely memorable in a lot of ways. I think a lot of people definitely remember Nier by its soundtrack. It's just absolutely amazing. Like, even if you never played the game before, but I would like to think that even if you do listen to the soundtrack without actually having played the game, you'd still get like very impressed by it in a lot of ways. So that's my take on it. I still listen to that soundtrack literally every day, especially on my worst of days, and it always helps me in a lot of emotional aspects. So I definitely think it's just overall amazing. I don't find any track in there that I don't like. I like every single track, and that's incredibly rare because there's always one song in every soundtrack that I'm just like, it's whatever. But every single song in that game just blew me away.
Cool. Brian, what's your choice?
It's a tie between Nier and Persona 5.
You can't have a tie, you dumbass. Pick one.
I don't want to. Damn it! I don't want to choose. Fuck.
Okay, choose like this: Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which one is?
You don't think I did that? No, we can't do it. I can't diss them like this. Shit.
Okay, fine. Say why you can't decide. How about that? With your conflicting, complicated ass.
It's like with Nier, you have like a beautiful soundtrack that you got emotionally addicting and shit. Then with Persona 5, you just got some shit that just... I love that soundtrack.
I mean, Persona 5 has an amazing soundtrack, and it's groovy. Yeah. It's definitely catchy, obviously. I mean, just the battle music in itself is incredibly mesmerizing. Like, I would sometimes not even fight just to listen to the damn song. So I can understand. But if I had to compare... I just can't compare it to Nier, because of how it personally touched me, that I'm just gonna go like Nier is just hit me in that way. And Persona 5, Persona 5 is like I said, it's groovy, it's catchy, it even makes even people with 2 left feet want to dance. Okay, and I speak that from experience. So it's great, it's absolutely amazing. So I can understand why it would be hard for you to choose between the two, So the Persona 5 definitely is, deserves to be in that category, and that would be my second choice as far as best soundtrack is concerned. So I can understand why you would feel conflicted between the two.
Yeah, because Nier, it just pulled some emotions I really didn't want to pull out, and I'm like, and it just...
Really?
I really did. It did.
You didn't really want to pull out?
Come on, Roach.
Wow. Nasty ass.
You're the one that said it, not me.
I ain't even made a dirty joke yet.
Shocking.
Okay.
So to me, it sounds like you're going with Nier.
Actually, as much as I hate to fucking do it, I'm going with Persona 5. Because if I had to say which one I listen to when I'm doing like work or I'm putting it in the background, it's gonna be Persona. Shit, I even miss, like, even still Kamoshida's Palace theme rings in the back of my head when I'm not thinking straight, and I'm like,
hey, Kamoshida was trash, but the song in his palace was lit. Okay, that's the only thing that made that palace worth going around, because the soundtrack is great no matter what palace you're in, because, well, Kamoshida's, like I said, Kamoshida's trash, but he has good music. I can give him that.
Yeah, like the moment, it's like that's literally thinking music for me. Like my mind just wanders, and it's like it just plays in the background. It's like, is this really my thinking music right now? Wow.
Lightning strike.
Like, I'm not even gonna front. That, and we're not gonna sit here and ignore Rivers in the Desert, Blooming Villain, what is it? Beneath the Mask. Shit, I had to memorize all of them.
Yeah, those are great. Yeah. Like I said, that would be second choice for me. Me personally, it's Nier. But I can definitely agree that Persona 5 is all the way up there as well. Like, I think it's probably like top 20 soundtracks for me now.
Yeah.
So,
I'm still kind of surprised The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild didn't have such a strong score going for it, to be honest. Because
like I said, it has pleasant music. It does. Like a lot of the music in the game definitely adds to the. Like, think when you're battling Guardians, it definitely gives you like, kind of like how would I say it? Definitely gives you like music that makes you think, yeah, you're fighting something technologically advanced. When you're going in shrines, it definitely gives you the essence of something mystical. When you go in the open world itself, it really feels like, yeah, I'm exploring something new. So it like I said, it does add flavor to the game. I'm just not gonna sit here and say that it adds such a strong presence to it like Persona 5 or Nier would. Yeah, it's not, because it doesn't have that to me. It's not as memorable as, like, you know, the other games we had, like the Song of Time, the Song of Storms, and a bunch of other songs. It doesn't compare to those levels. I'm not gonna sit here and say that, because as much as I love Legend of Zelda, I can't be biased at all about it. So it had great music, it did, but I truly believe it did not deserve to go on the best score. That definitely should have been replaced with Horizon, because Horizon at least has a very memorable soundtrack, and it definitely would have taken away a lot of the profound essence of it without some of the songs in there. Just Aloy's theme is amazing in itself, and definitely adds more to her journey. And you can you know, it adds a lot, but I don't know. Maybe it won because of popularity. Breath of the Wild was incredibly popular, so there's always gonna be that. Yeah, I mean, there's always gonna be that, you know, one game in there is gonna be added by popularity, not because people really thought about it clearly. Like, does it really have that? Should it really deserve to be here? No, it's sadly a lot of it is based on popularity. I mean, we could probably say the same about Persona 5 this year, but at least Persona 5 is popular, but it has a lot to back up why it deserves to be in certain categories.
Yeah, it had a lot of it backed up what it brought.
Exactly. So, but like I said, I mean, it's a great song, great soundtrack, not enough to be nominated in that category.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, I guess that wraps up for best audio, for best music and score.
Okay, so you're just gonna skip me now?
Oh damn! Oh fuck! Go ahead. I thought, yeah, go ahead.
You are such a forgetful bastard.
Can
this be the last time we clear put him in charge of anything? Because
I'm trying to.
Obviously can't keep track. And you wonder why we have no faith in you.
I'm not the type that keeps everything in his mind. Let me go ahead and tell you.
Oh, we're very well aware of that, sir.
That's like mental math and all that shit. I mean, I can do that, but no, I don't do that. God knows.
You can't do mental math. Get the fuck out of here. You can't do that.
I can do a little bit. I did it before.
Like what? 2 + 2? Anybody can do that. My 5-year-old niece can do that.
Usually, whenever I'm about to do a problem, I'll sit there, think it out, do the answer, and just put it there. That's what I mean when I say mental math. But it's like everything else, no, my mind ain't that.
I just want to know why you had to include mental math in this. It's literally just 2 people. You're asking 2 people what they like. And then you add your own opinion. It's not even that complicated, man.
Yeah, it's not like you're dealing with a panel of like 15 people. That would be one thing, trying to keep track of that, but when it's just 2 people outside of you, it's kind of hard to make this complicated, but miraculously you found a way to do it, so kudos on that.
Oh, Brian, you're so hopeless.
But anyway, you know, It was difficult for me too to make a choice in this because I feel that Nier has a more profound impact on the game itself, more so than P5. I feel like P5 is really just a collection of great music, but it's just like it was a great soundtrack, of course, created for the game, but I kind of feel like it's kind of more still in its own world to a degree, whereas the way that Nier's soundtrack is immersed into that world it created, it just feels like it's more integral to the overall creation of the game, where I feel like P5 was just a fantastic soundtrack that was put into Persona 5. Even though I'm still going to pick Persona 5 because I love acid jazz. I love, that funk fusion with jazz and bits and pieces of hip hop and pop. But I feel like Nier definitely kind of touched me more on an emotional scale, with the vocals and the orchestration and how that played in the toll as far as with the game itself, because Nier is definitely a much more emotional game as compared to P5. P5 is just, it's classy, it's smooth, it's badass from a more kind of laid back, kind of jazzy feel to it, but Nier is definitely the way it hits you in your face with the complications and the issues that it brings up. It's definitely more in your face as far as having to force you to deal with the reality of the world that we live in, whereas Persona 5, of course, it also deals with social issues, and the soundtrack does reflect that, but it's still also done in just a cool ass way that you can kind of admire it for its style, whereas Nier is definitely more kind of like, the world is fucked up, there's not much you can do about it, you just have to figure out a way how to survive, whereas P5 kind of gives you more of a sense of motivation that you can still make an impact in society, even if it requires you having to do something that's frowned upon to a degree. But I'm still going with P5 because I just love the production in it. Lynn, who was the lead singer for Last Surprise, Rivers in the Desert, she has a fantastic fucking voice. I mean, listening to her, I thought she was black until listening to it. It's like you kind of hear the Japanese accent when she's pronouncing certain words, but her voice is fucking just soulful as shit and just impactful, just awesome. And Last Surprise is definitely one of the best battle themes I've heard in a long time. Definitely catchy. Love the strings, the orchestration, the bass line. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it will make anybody want to get up and dance, even if you can't dance for shit. I just don't see how you could listen to the soundtrack and not want to move your feet. I mean, it's infectious. But yeah, I'm definitely going with P5 on that, but Nier is a very close second, and I can completely understand, if Nier were to win this award, I would definitely understand why, but my vote's going with P5 for sure. Alright, now you can move on, bitch.
Alright, we have Best Audio Design, which is Destiny 2, Hellblade, Resident Evil, Super Mario Odyssey, and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
We're gonna leave that one to you, Jay, since you're the only one who's played games in that category.
You knew they'd run away from the start.
I was really stuck on that one because I loved both Hellblade and Legend of Breath of the Wild in that same aspect. Simply because, I mean, I think Hellblade definitely had great music, and it definitely added a lot to the struggle of Senua and her psychosis. It was amazing to feel the impact of it. The Breath of the Wild, like I said, also had a
Not because you couldn't
really
control them,
good audio
because you drove
as well.
them away.
But if I had to choose, I'd definitely go with Hellblade on this.
Anna and I. It wasn't as it seemed.
Yeah, and I've seen people who've streamed the game. Of course, you know, Judy, you had streamed it a little while ago, and listening to it in headphones, you can definitely feel her paranoia that's going on with all the different voices that you hear as you're progressing throughout the game. So we were talking about that before, as far as how they were able to recreate what the experience is going through mental illness. How they were able to recreate that was definitely fantastic, and I give them props for being able to do that, because that I don't think was ever attempted before. I think Hellblade was the very first game that really incorporated a sense of mental illness, as far as you being able to feel it. I mean, we've had characters in games that were mentally ill, but you never got to really feel that illness the way that Hellblade does it. So definitely got to give them respect for doing that.
I tried to stop her. She wriggled like an eel. We struggled.
So Hellblade is my choice for that category.
Last blasted thing I remember.
Brian, you want to input anything?
Considering Hellblade is the only one I've seen, I'm gonna go with that one. But truth be told, I have nothing in this one.
Know what that's like, Witcher?
Okay. Alright, so what's next?
Best performance.
Nothing.
And for that we have Horizon, Wolfenstein, Uncharted The Lost Legacy, Uncharted The Lost Legacy again, and Hellblade.
Best performance, what exactly does that entail?
I think voice actor wise.
Oh, definitely going with Hellblade on that one. Absolutely going with Hellblade. Because the way that she portrayed Senua was absolutely amazing.
What happened
And the fact that she could deliver her struggle with psychosis in such a great way just blew my fucking mind. Honestly, so I can remember her name, the one that portrays Senua. I forget her name, but I definitely go with her as best performance. Absolutely. Aloy would be my second, but I'm going Senua on that. Hellblade for sure.
And what's even more impressive is the fact that the woman that they chose to play her, she's not even a trained actress. She was just an extra, kind of just hanging around the office, I guess. And I don't exactly know how they got her. I don't know how she got the role, but the way that she was able to perform in that and not having any experience being an actress, that's just commendable, man. It really is.
Yeah, they definitely show that, like, when you buy the game, it gives you, like, that behind the scenes of how Hellblade was created and the inspiration from it. And it was amazing to see, like, the journey that it took to create, like, the environment, the story, Senua herself, and I gotta say, I agree that it is incredibly impressive, because I don't know how she was able to pull off such a tragic character in such a passionate way, considering that she had no prior experience. So kudos to her, because she blew it out of the park, honestly.
But she died before she could be born. Understand?
All right, Brian. So what's your pick?
My child was dead.
This is one of those games that focuses on audio and best performance.
I do.
Let me see.
That I
for best performance for Uncharted, we have the voice actors for Chloe Fraser and Nadine Ross. So I think I want to go with that, honestly. But then again, Hellblade, as Judy illustrated so well beforehand, you know, you can feel the struggle and everything going on with it. And as you said, you can feel through the headphones when you put that option on. So, but I think I want to go with Uncharted.
Okay.
I saw y'all both play it.
There are two actresses. You have Chloe, played by Claudia Black, and then Laura Bailey played Nadine.
Bailey. Yeah.
So you have to pick one. You can't just say, I'm going with Uncharted. You have two separate people who are nominated.
I'm gonna go with Laura Bailey because Nadine was just a hardcore bitch, and I was here for it.
Once it's strong enough, it attacks those who scorned it.
Well, I mean, there was more than just a hardcore bitch, but she still had a lot of depth to her when she was interacting with Chloe too.
A bond I want to use
Like that little dynamic that they had.
How? One of two ways.
Okay. Well, definitely the actress who played in Hellblade definitely deserves it, but I'm completely biased in this. I'm just gonna go ahead and admit it. So I picked Claudia Black, who played Chloe, because Chloe, that's the wife. So
She did.
that's all. I know that she's not going to win, but I definitely had to put in the vote for wifey. But that's all, because Chloe's voice, well, Claudia's voice is just, God, she sounds so fucking sexy, man. It's just...
That would have been my choice had I not been biased and, you know, Senua wasn't in there, so.
Yeah, but I am completely 100% biased. I own it. I don't give a fuck. But, yeah.
Whatever we do, we gotta find the botchling first.
I'll show you where I live, and I'll dig the grave at my threshold.
So that's both of y'all's point for best performance, or?
They can bury us in it, and the other way.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's everybody's. So we can go ahead and move on to games for Impact, or are there any parting notes, or?
What was that?
I said, is that it for best performance, or
Oh,
we got
yeah.
some more parting words?
Best do it tonight
No.
at midnight.
Then wait here with me.
Okay.
Near midnight,
Next we have
I'll
games
take
for
you to
Impact, then we have,
Get word to the
what the fuck, Bury Me, My Love, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, Life is Strange, Before the Storm, Night in the Woods, Please Knock on My Door, and What Remains of Edith Finch. The fuck?
We're gonna have to lean on Judy for this one too, because I know she's played Hellblade and Life is Strange.
Yeah.
This one was incredibly hard for me because I think both had a great impact. So Life is Strange, Before the Storm definitely tackles a lot of real life issues as well. And definitely every character has a struggle in there. And even though the second chapter barely came out like in October, so the full game is not even finished yet. I would actually go with Hellblade with this one as well, simply because I already played the whole game. But Life is Strange definitely is a very, very close second, because both impact you in really great ways. So, but I definitely choose Hellblade for a lot of reasons that I've mentioned before. Senua's story definitely impacts you in a lot of ways. I think the story itself is definitely impacted. It takes from Celtic culture and Norse mythology, so that in itself is definitely very intriguing. I learned a lot of Norse mythology through that game, so definitely that's a big impact on me, mythology-wise and motion as well. So my pick is Hellblade.
Look.
Alright. So, Brian can go ahead and move on to the next category.
Well, we have best ongoing game, which are Destiny 2, Grand Theft Auto Online, Overwatch, Player, PUBG, Rainbow Six Siege, and Warframe. Do we need to go over that one?
Nope. I don't.
Exactly.
What happens when it gets restless?
Then we have best independent game, which are Cuphead, Hellblade, Night in the Woods, Pyre, and What Remains of Edith Finch. And one of us has only played like one of these games, I'm pretty sure.
I really do want to play What Remains of Edith Finch. I've heard a lot of great things about it, so I think I really will play that before this year ends. But of course, I chose Hellblade on that. Definitely. Yeah, that's my choice.
Back to the fortress.
Okay. Gary, you got nothing for this one?
Nope, because I haven't played any of them, but from what I've seen, it would be between Hellblade and Cuphead, and I would have to go with Hellblade.
Alright. Next we have Best Mobile Game, which are Fire Emblem Heroes, Hidden Folks, Monument Valley 2, Old Man's Journey, and Super Mario Run.
I haven't played any of those, so I have no input.
I never fucked with any of them, so neither have I.
Oh, but I think that Super Mario will win. But yeah, I haven't played any.
Yeah. So we're all now done with that one?
Yep.
Alright, we're on to Best Handheld Game, which is Ever Oasis, Fire Emblem Echo Shadows of Valentia, Metroid Samus Returns, Monster Hunter Stories, and Gucci and Yoshi's Woolly World. Damn, Monster Hunter was nominated?
I'll go with Ever Oasis.
I gotta give that one a try.
It's a very fun game.
Yeah.
I'm still very close to finishing it, but I still haven't played it. But I'll go with Ever Oasis. It's definitely a very entertaining game.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really, really cute. It's like, I love it.
You wanna elaborate on it? I'd love to hear more about it.
Well, it starts off with you being the younger brother of the village elder. Every single of these chiefs have a power that they have a water spirit that gives life to an oasis in the desert. So your job is to maintain life in that oasis so it always thrives. And that would be by having a lot of people in your community that contribute to your oasis so that it always flourishes. And that's how it starts. That you always like admire your older brother because he's just a great chief, and a lot of people love living in his oasis. And then you see this evil power that invades your oasis, and you see the last thing you see is your brother fighting this evil spirit, and you end up alone in the desert. So the conclusion is that his brother dies while trying to defend his oasis, but unfortunately it gets destroyed. So it ends up being infertile afterwards, and his water guardian ends up dying as well. It's because when you die, then your water spirit also dies. So you're left alone in the desert, and there's one last water guardian that is in the middle of the desert by herself, and she's looking for someone that has the power to be able to create an oasis so that she could help them do that. And that's where the story begins, that you end up finding this water spirit, and you end up building this oasis. And it's probably like the last oasis in that desert. So you always see a lot of people go into your oasis and try to see what it's about and stuff. And they always give you like a little goal to do. And if you complete that goal, then they always ask, oh, I'm willing to be a part of your community and willing to contribute and stuff. And each one of them ends up selling like little trinkets. Like some of them sell like juice, or some of them sell blankets or wool. And it's cute how as many people come more into your community, it thrives a lot more. And you always have to do like little goals for them to keep your oasis always flourishing. So it's a really cute game. It's not difficult at all. It's just, it can seem like, oh yeah, you're always doing stuff for people, you know, because you always want to keep your community really well maintained and stuff. It's not a long game. It's very short, but it's incredibly entertaining if you want to play like, you know, a leisure game with not really that much challenge. Definitely fun. It's worth it. So yeah, I definitely went with that Oasis. Yeah.
Well put. I'll have to give it a try later along with Metroid Samus Returns.
Yeah, that's definitely fun. I think
what about you, Gary? You never played on any of these, right?
Nope. Fucking race. Fuck y'all, man. Shit.
Okay, I guess I'll go since I'm the one who played
Die
the most
slow, you bitches.
Oh my god.
Math just looked stressful.
They really do.
Okay, so what are we talking about now?
Best handheld.
Did you pick Monster Hunter?
It's between, let me see, the Fire Emblem one or Monster Hunter, but my vote is going to go with Monster Hunter.
Okay. I had no doubt in my mind, but
yeah. I would elaborate on it, but I'm pretty sure y'all don't want to hear more about that.
no, man, you rock out, cause I mean, I don't have shit to say about this, so you can take my time.
Yeah, you can tell us more about your egg thieving days.
Really. Okay, well, for Monster Hunter Stories, considering how popular Monster Hunter of the series is, I never really fucked with the entire series until this one. And I have to say, it managed to keep all the stuff about the series beforehand, while at the same time introducing new elements. And to be quite frank, this is actually an anime beforehand. But, you know, the anime sucked ass, so they made a game out of it and it made a fucking killing. So, let me see, where do I start? The game starts with you as this young rider whose parents were killed beforehand, so you were taken to a village. Then you find a dragon, and let's see, it kind of goes in a kind of Naruto direction, where one is like chosen, the other one goes down a shitty path, and the other one is basically useless. So, you know, and then after you lose your dragon, after he falls off a cliff, you basically have to start from scratch. And if I had to perfectly describe this game in gameplay, it's very, very, very similar to Pokemon. Very similar in that aspect. Like, it has the whole rock, paper, scissors vibe going for it. You can catch, hatch, you know, different monsters. You know, a good majority of them are dragons. There's a lot of variety. And there's a lot of, and despite the fact that the story is very hand-holding, which I kind of hate, and the fucking cat got on my nerves too much, it really is a great game worth giving your time into, because this game has actually had a lot of popularity put into it. It even has a high-ass score, which I really didn't see coming. But yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I strongly urge you to try it. Honestly.
Absolutely not.
Wow. You over here telling me to try Ever Oasis and shit, and I'm willing to give it a chance.
No, you're the one that said you wanted to try it. I never told you you have to try it or you should try it. I was telling you if you should try it, yeah, because if you already have the curiosity to do so, then yeah, do so. I don't have the curiosity for Monster Hunter Stories. I know, I'm not saying it's a bad game, but if I ever do get the interest to play it, I will definitely let you know. So, yeah. And who knows, I might be a better egg thief than you.
Let's just hope you don't. I'll say this. If you ever get put up against multiples of shit, let's hope that you won't lose interest and still want to keep going. Cause there'll be times where I hit walls and I'll be like, okay, fuck this, and I'll have to come back a day later or something and try again and figure it out. Like, it gets like it's what the fuck? It's like puzzle-ish sometimes. Did I just say puzzle-ish?
And that's supposed to intimidate me?
No.
That's supposed to stop me considering all the games I've played?
Yeah,
you really
do have
think
a
that would
platinum
intimidate?
Bloodborne.
Exactly. That alone should tell you I'm nuts. So you truly believe a puzzle is gonna stop me? Moi?
No.
You crazy.
Okay, now you're being cocky.
I have
You
a right
really
to be
are,
cocky
though.
sometimes. I have a right to be cocky sometimes, okay? Shit.
All I got to say is when you fight a fucking dragon at its highest rank, you better be prepared to take some of that shit up the ass, because
Again, you forget all the shit I fought in Bloodborne. Are you dead ass kidding? Really? Really? Like, dude, I faced harder things in life. Believe me. Trust me, you're not telling me anything that I haven't already heard. Trust me, I think I would know what to do. Okay. So,
I'll be waiting when you turn them niggas into armor.
I'm just saying, you got your panties wet fighting the cleric beast. I don't think that'll happen to me.
Say what?
I think I'll be okay.
One of them must have dropped it.
Oh lord.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Anyways, I would give this the Fire Emblem, but considering the fact that this shit had horrible voice acting compared to the Awakening one I played when I first got the 3DS, no.
Okay, but what about story-wise?
The story is really, really well put together. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. That's probably one of the best things about that whole ass game. But
well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the point. I mean, it's
yeah, it has a
story was.
Yeah, it has an amazing story. Like, it really has a lot of mind fucks in that, and it's really dark too.
So the only thing that stops you is the voice acting?
No, it never really stopped me. Plus, it's challenging as well too. It even has a difficulty setting, and it has a permadeath feature. So it's like, what decision you make is literally the most important thing. Like, you literally have to put a lot of critical thinking into your next move. But no, the voice acting is kinda, it's subpar compared to what I played in Awakening. That, and you don't get the whole, like, what is it, the waifu simulator, like where you compare people and, you know, see if they're compatible or not.
So what actually made you choose Monster Hunter Stories over Fire Emblem?
For one thing, the art style, because it has a really adorable cartoony art style that's just really pleasing to the eye. Second thing is the gameplay. Like, despite how simplistic it is, it made me want to keep going. It's like, because of how simplistic it is, it literally became both overwhelming and fun in the same sentence. Because there are some monsters that, I swear to God, I felt like it was cheating the goddamn system so much. But you know what they say. If something is possible, it's not impossible. Or some shit like that. You know, like achieving Bloodborne and the Platinum. But aside from that, it's a really long game too, but it kind of holds your hand in certain areas in the story. Not to mention, like I said before, it gives off a Naruto vibe where, you know, you're like the character, the chosen one and shit to do this. Then there's your character who's good at the beginning, but he becomes a Sasuke type narrative later on with his overpowered ass that he gets fucked over later. Then comes to his senses. Then you have the bitch who wants to do something but she's useless, so she becomes like the support. So, but there's a lot of great things in that game.
Oh, we understand.
Just to give you a broader perspective, but I think that's pretty much it for best handheld. I don't really give a fuck about Poochie and Yoshi's, what is it, Woolly World? I mean, I love Yoshi, but come on, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Okay, you can move on.
Yeah. Okay. Best VR and AR? Do we don't play VR.
No, we don't.
No, fuck this. Fuck this whole category. And okay, for Judy, we have Best Action Game. I'm gonna go ahead and name off Neo, Cuphead, Destiny 2, Prey, and Wolfenstein.
Well, I only got a little taste of Prey through the demo. It wasn't bad. I actually thought it was really cool, but since the only game I played in full has been Neo, I'm obviously going with Neo because the combat is just fucking amazing. It's extensive. It's very versatile, very fluid, fast-paced. It's incredibly enjoyable to fight in that game. It feels very, very refreshing, very rewarding. I definitely would recommend it to people who are looking for a good action game, even though it is, you know, high difficulty game, but it's incredibly worth playing it. I definitely recommend it. I mean, who doesn't want to look cool as a samurai? So, I mean...
Everybody does. I know I damn sure want to play the damn game once it gets a complete version, if it does. But if it doesn't, I'll still buy it regardless.
I mean, it's definitely worth playing. I definitely would definitely, you know, persuade anyone to play a good that they want a good action.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Nier wasn't nominated.
Oh yeah, that is a good. Yeah, because it was a great action like role play.
I mean, Nier definitely had very fluid, fast-paced combat. I enjoyed it a lot.
It had one of the best combat systems I've ever. It's like one of the combat systems I'll go ahead and say I expect to see in a lot of action games. Like, it's simple, but it's creative at the same time.
Hope they got away.
Yeah,
So,
I'm surprised.
Good thing it doesn't end here.
I don't know. But I mean, I'm glad Neo was put there, because I definitely think that it could have been a Game of the Year nominee. Unfortunately, a lot of people did not get into it.
They look down on it.
I mean, they just, well, I don't think that, but I think a lot of people, when they played it, a lot of Dark Souls fanboys are gonna just assume that it's a cheap knockoff of Dark Souls. That's always going to be the case, and that's exactly what I heard a lot when I was first getting interested in the game itself. A lot of people were saying, oh yeah, it's not Dark Souls, like, they just want to make it difficult, but it's actually super easy, blah blah. You know, those stupid ass high
elitists,
big writing elitists, you know, with their entitled asses. It just, that's probably why a lot of people, you know, shied away from it, because I don't know why y'all even take Dark Souls reviews seriously at all. Y'all should know better.
Take a closer look.
Seriously. Y'all should definitely know better. Had that been the case, I would have never touched shit like Bloodborne or Neo. Had I stuck to their dumbass reviews.
elitists just be cancer.
Go on now.
I mean, they're just very entitled, and that's what irks me, you know, but I'm not gonna get into that because it's gonna piss me off. But, yeah, I mean, a lot of people shied away. Yeah, it is. It's very cancerous. A lot of people shied away from it because, first of all, a lot of people are just not going to have the patience to go into a high difficulty game. I know, personally, I still fear going into those type of games. I don't really trust too much of my abilities, but obviously, like I said, you know what? Everything's trial and error. I'm going to learn a lot from my retarded mistakes, and that's exactly what happens. Well, I did make a lot of dumb mistakes when I first started playing those games. I'm not gonna sit here and say I haven't, and I still do sometimes. But, you know, it's all about learning from them and just trying to persevere through, you know, there are gonna be some missions that are gonna fucking annoy the hell out of you because they just seem like, oh my god, I'm never going to complete this and move on. But you eventually find a way and you just have to keep going with it. You know, that's the whole point. Challenging you with something that slaps you in the face. But it doesn't mean that it's not a good game, because it's a great game. You know? So.
Yeah.
But yeah, my pick would be Neo for best action.
Your son said enough. No point in playing dumb anymore. Sorry, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I was able to play Neo a little bit when I went over to Judy's place before we went to go and pick up Pokemon, and I really liked it. I think at some point, probably next year, I would definitely pick it up and go through it. So I definitely see the appeal of it. It's very fluid combat. So I would definitely go with that by default. Games I wish that would have been nominated, definitely Nier. Of course, I would like to have seen Uncharted Lost Legacy get nominated, even though I understand probably because outside of the last 2 chapters, there wasn't exactly too much action going on. I mean, the way they wrapped it up was fantastic, but for the first 7 chapters, it was pretty, it was still good, but there definitely was more of an emphasis on developing Chloe's and Nadine's relationship and their characterization. But the last 2 chapters alone was just, man, that shit was so awesome and intense.
Well, that was a definitely, we're back Shoreline type of shit.
Yeah. That definitely, those last 2 chapters took me back to Uncharted 2. Definitely.
Shoreline. Your son said enough. No point in playing dumb anymore.
Sorry, sir. You don't look like one of our fathers, man.
Oh, and since we're bringing up Uncharted, Uncharted has turned 10 years old. And that makes me feel ancient as shit.
Happy birthday, motherfuckers. Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. I was 17 when the first game came out.
Why?
I was a fetus.
I am so glad you said that. Because I was gonna say it. You're finally admitting this here.
No, I remember when I first picked up the first Uncharted when my brother got a PS3. When I first looked at that case, I was like, why is you picking this real life shit? You know I hate real life shit. Then, you know, the moment I put it in, I was like, this is the funnest shit I have ever played on PlayStation 3. What the fuck? I want to play more. So, I'm definitely going to give Uncharted the props it's due for maintaining as long as it has. You know, it has that
Uncharted
spirit.
is undoubtedly one of the best game series out there. Honestly, if you have not played Uncharted, not one game, I don't know what the fuck you've been doing with your life. You need to stay away from Call of Duty and play Uncharted. That's what I definitely suggest y'all do. Because it's amazing.
Definitely.
Yep.
Nathan Drake, one of the greatest gaming protagonists of all time. I miss him every day, but the story must go
One for
on.
my man's on New Year's.
Yeah, let me go ahead and take this shot real quick for Nathan Drake one time.
Oh, my cigarette.
Yeah.
This mother.
Hey, man, he deserved it. All that shit we went through with him, man. 10 years.
That's what he
Crazy
put me through
ass.
the first game. As much as I hate him, but I still love him at the same time.
You know, you got that hate-love relationship.
Only with Uncharted 1, to be honest.
These wasn't black scars scarred over. It's hot and glowing.
But yeah.
Nathan, you fuck. We miss you. We miss you.
I love Nathan. I'm feeling a little nostalgic. It makes me want to play Uncharted 2.
Seems someone had
On hard?
put out the stars.
Absolutely
Crickets
not.
all went silent of a sudden. And
You crazy. I will definitely not do that to myself. I'll say that. Let me tell you something. I can be hardcore in other games. Uncharted is not one of those games. I will never be Gary where Uncharted is concerned. Absolutely not.
So you're not reaching the Gary level of insanity. You're not reaching chaotic.
Of course not. I did it with Uncharted: The Lost Legacy because it's only 9 chapters. 9 chapters was a breeze, even if it was crushing. You expect me to do that with 20-something chapters? You crazy as shit. Absolutely not.
You right.
I am too damn old for that.
Oh, Lord.
I still can't even believe I put myself through that shit this year. I really can't.
Nigga, we can't believe it either. And just for that, I'm gonna take a shot when I turn 21. Just for that
I
shit.
can believe it.
Yeah, you right. That nigga literally went through the fucking trials of the hero right there. Like, nigga.
How do you compare?
So here our paths diverge. Thank you, Dan.
How is that a comparison? Where?
That's like his own little trials, bruh. Him proving himself.
I see. I would say like the Spirit Trials and Skyward Sword because those were fucking annoying. Okay.
Oh yeah, those were easy as fuck.
Those were irritating. I hated those.
That whole last chapter where you gotta wander around with nothing but some digger mitts.
Run, Roach.
Oh yeah.
Good times. Hard to believe
No,
I
there's
got a 10.
similar. It's something similar like that in Breath of the Wild.
I can't believe that game got a 10 out of 10 back when I first got a Wii. What the fuck?
Dude, Skyward Sword is great. I don't care what anybody else says. I don't care because it was absolutely great.
Oh,
That's it, Roach.
damn. Poor Zelda. But Moving on.
What do you mean, poor Zelda? It's poor Link. He's the one that goes through the struggles, not Zelda.
Yeah, cause he's definitely not getting any pussy afterwards. So.
I beg to differ. I know he's definitely getting in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that is true. Damn near every single fucking female figure hits on him. Fuck, that was a whole ass plot device.
Yeah.
Yeah. So never mind. I think it's poor Mario. Never mind.
Yeah, but I heard there's a female character in Super Mario Odyssey that's way better than Peach.
Oh, damn true. Yeah.
I can't remember what her name is, but
Paulina.
Yeah.
From the original Jumpman and Donkey Kong thing with the barrels and shit from way back. Like, she's old. She came before Peach. She was the original bitch. So, yeah. Yeah, she's coming back to claim what's hers.
Yeah, so if Mario's smart, he'll move the fuck on and let that bitch be a hoe. That's all she wanna do.
You know, in her pretty wedding dress, and she's gonna be like, Mario, come sit. I just wonder how she's gonna look when he's talking to Pauline. I'm like, you see that? He's hitting the noggin.
I mean, I love Peach, but I mean, the bitch has the audacity to have a white wedding dress on when we all know you've been beyond white. Like, you over here lying to God. Crazy.
Be gone, thought.
Yeah,
that's what I tell my mother. My mom, when I get married, I'm gonna have a gray wedding dress. Because we all know that white is... I'm too late for white. So...
Oh my god.
I'm going with gray.
Oh my goodness.
She agreed. She said it'll be way better than white. She didn't like white.
I gotta look up gray wedding dresses. I've only seen black and I've only seen white. I've never seen a gray one.
I've seen like 2 and they're so fucking beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Really?
Yeah, like I saw one that it was like sleeveless and the top looked like a corset and it had like a white lace belt around the waist. Oh my god, it was absolutely gorgeous.
Let's go.
Well, you know what you'll be when you get married, when you have that.
Well, I don't want my dress sleeveless, but you know, I kind of want it like that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. But nah, I have high hopes with Pauline and Mario. You know, give him something wholesome for once. You know,
but you know, she
give
definitely gave him
something.
something in the background. We all know.
Yeah, she'll definitely give him the nalgas. I know fucking that.
Yeah, she gave him that one up.
Yeah, this is one up, girl. So I'm scared. He's in that shit. But yeah. Moving on, best action adventure game. Ugh, I love that category. We got AC Origins, Horizon Zero Dawn, Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, and The Lost Legacy. We got a great ass lineup.
That one was really hard for me.
Yeah, that's a hard ass lineup. And we haven't played, you know, what is it? Odyssey, but everything else.
Yeah, I played 4 or 5.
Yeah, you played 4 of them. There's only like 5 on this list.
Yeah, that's why it was hard for me.
So, if you had to choose, and you do gotta choose.
What the fuck? Back. Shit. Chill.
No respect
Nah, nigga, they won't.
space.
Nigga, they just like my coworker. Fuck.
In what sense?
I swear to God, we got these new coworkers, like that bitch that got hired I told you about. She literally does not know how to back the fuck up. I be like, I literally had to say personal space, and I had to put my arms up, and I be like, y'all's crowding me. I need room to bag. Shit. So you breathing on me. Shit. Hell no. Then it's like one got an attitude because she was just trying to tell me how to do my job. I was like, okay, first of all, ho, I don't need you to tell me how to do my job. I've been here over 3 months. I'm pretty sure I know how the fuck to do my job. Second of all, he's violating my space. You smell like shit, so.
Oh my god.
Shit, her old ass is just. And she's like one of them old ladies that be trying so hard to get up in your face and skin and grin and shit. I'm like, I wanted to say, bitch, back, be gone, damn. Like I really wanted to clap my hands and be like, if you don't get the fuck up, oh my god.
Really?
What? Shit.
Drama queen.
If you got 3 people besides one trying to bag and help you, one over here throwing shit on a damn, what is it, a conveyor belt, and they not even doing a good ass job, and they getting up close, I believe, and you're trying to concentrate too? Oh hell no.
Yeah, so this is why I'm glad I have an office job and everybody has their own desk, because if someone was in my face, it would be over.
Yeah, shit, I don't know how I managed to keep myself composed in that hub and then walk off and be done with something else, but yeah.
If I had to choose for best action adventure, truth be told, I don't even remember what I chose for that one because I was stuck on that category for a while. Because I think
it's a hard one.
It is hard. I enjoyed all 4 of those, so it was incredibly hard for me. But I think in the end, I think I did choose Horizon.
I knew you were gonna say Horizon. Because that was the only one that threw DLC content that made you want to jump right back in. I mean, Breath of the Wild did it, but you never went back to that after a while.
Yeah, man, I did the DLC, like, you know, every once in a while. I didn't do it all, like, straight up. Because I was just so, you know, engrossed in my PS4 games. But now that I have, like, a lot more time, I definitely will be ready for when like the second part of the DLC comes out. But Horizon definitely won for me because it definitely gave me a lot of replay value. Like after the first time, I went back to it a second time, and then I did Ultra Hard, so that was really fun. And I went back to the DLC, so yeah, I mean, in every aspect, just going around that world, adventuring. You know, fighting machines, fighting bandits, going through bandit camps, and all the obstacles you go through in Horizon just were so fun. So that's mainly what made me choose. I mean, Breath of the Wild had that too, but not on the same level of intensity as Horizon. Assassin's Creed Origins definitely has it as well. I'm not gonna sit and say it doesn't, because I mean, adventure-wise, it's absolutely amazing. Except like the action gets repetitive after a while, so even the variety of weapons and stuff it is very repetitive. So after a while, it's like, yeah, you're fighting and it looks all cool, but then you realize you kind of are doing the same thing over and over and over. And you kind of are doing the same probably with Horizon, but with Horizon you can develop your own type of fighting style. Like a lot of people just mainly go with like, you know, throwing bombs at machines. A lot of people focus just mostly using arrows. A lot of people mix in arrows using your spear. So it definitely gives you a lot more variety where combat's concerned than Origins. I think with Breath of the Wild, you know, the whole your weapon has a limit definitely kind of threw it off for me. I don't feel like you tend to enjoy weapons to its fullest. I mean, you get used to it, but you know, it still feels like off because you realize I'm not gonna be with this weapon forever, except the Master Sword. But since you don't really get the Master Sword until you're almost close to beating the game, it's like, yeah. And if you use its magic, you know, you can't use it for 10 minutes in real time until it comes back and it is restored. So it feels incredibly limited. You know, even though farming for the same swords is not hard, but really, who wants to do that? You know?
Just to use my favorite sword, be like, I can't even name that bitch because I know it's gonna break later.
Yeah, I mean, I have my favorite swords. I mean, I know where to get them when the one I have, you know, eventually gets destroyed. But you know, it tends to be kind of a drag having to do all of that all over again, and having to be really careful with how many times you use a certain weapon. You know.
That sounds stressful.
It is, but you get the hang of it after a while. You know, I mean, especially when you upgrade your weapon slots and you can hold up to a bunch of variety of weapons. You don't feel so limited anymore. So you're like, yeah, this one runs out, then you know, I know where to get it, and then I already have another cool weapon I can use. So I mean, you get used to it.
It was definitely a nice little addition to it, along with the other things that pretty much fucked you over in Breath of the Wild. Cause if I had to name how many times I've seen or have heard you can get fucked in that goddamn game, shit.
Yeah, there are a lot of times because like there's certain parts of the game where it's like rainy or it's probably like there's a lot of water around you, and then you have a Lizalfos.
Why is my damn horse running away from me?
I think it's trying to play hard to get.
Yeah.
I think it's pulling the shit your horse was pulling in Breath of the Wild.
This is not Zelda. When I whistle for your ass, Roach, you supposed to come right here. There are not no damn Breath of the Wild mechanics in this shit. I ain't gotta treat your ass. I ain't gotta feed your ass. I ain't gotta do shit for you. You do as I tell you to do.
Nigga, that's why your name is Roach. Use my Roach.
Exactly.
Nigga. Oh my god.
You are under the heel of my shoe, damn.
I think he's under your heel. Yeah, he is.
Yeah? Oh yeah. I was gonna say, Roach is definitely pulling a Breath of the Wild on you.
Yeah, because you know, yours was fucking wandering away from you the moment you got off that house.
That was so fucking annoying, man, I swear. It took me a long time to get the hang of getting horse. I'm like, if you don't get your bitch ass back over here, then when you get the hang of your confidence level with your horse, it doesn't do that anymore. So you're like, oh.
Nigga was like, ooh, what's this over here? Oh, right, you're still there. Fuck you.
You know, it was so annoying.
It was amazing. It was funny as shit.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, just even trying to get a horse was a drag.
If I ever play that damn game, I'm literally gonna try swooping from above to grab those bitches. Cause just literally sneaking on them seems like it's gonna be a lot.
You do realize it doesn't work, right?
Damn it.
They're open fields. There's no way for you to jump from anything.
I thought you had what's the name's damn what is it? That fucking blessing you get from that bird tribe where you can create whirlwinds and shit.
But you do realize that'll scare them off, right? If you do that near them, like even if they see you from far away, they run away.
Oh yeah, I forgot they were that fucking sensitive.
Yeah, especially the ones that are a single color, because those are the hardest ones to tame.
Man, hell no.
So you really are gonna have to sneak up on them if there's not another horse nearby. Yeah. Well, even then it's hard to do. I mean, I would suggest doing that and creating like a stealth
elixir
meal. Yes, a stealth meal to increase your stealth. And even then, they can be scared off. So it's not an easy task. The cool thing is that when you get a horse, it's easy to get friendly with them, so you don't have to work that hard for it. But getting them is
oh, thank God.
Yeah, like literally, if you just pet it like a few times when you're like riding on it, your confidence level goes like 100 real quick. That's still a cool thing. And if you feed them too, you can feed them apples, carrots, and stuff. Definitely increases it.
Aye, damn thing bolted. Ain't that my luck? If it don't rain,
you know, if Gary got one, he's naming his shit Roach. I already foresee that shit.
Hell no, I'm not naming that damn horse Roach. Roach gets on my fucking nerves.
You think if Gary didn't have a choice, he would have changed that name a long time ago? Come on, now. Who wants to be riding a horse called Roach? Let's be real here.
That's one thing I've never understood about Geralt. Is like, why the fuck did he name his horse Roach?
Honestly. He could have named it anything else, you know, but Roach. Roach was the best option he came up with. Obviously, my man's is not creative.
Card's still fit for fixing.
Anyone learns you carry plague victims in it, no one will ever hire you again.
Why would they need to learn?
Roach. My nigga Roach.
The pox for miles around.
Like, I just really want to know, like, did that just come, like, from the second he got his horse? I'm like, you call you Roach. I don't even give a fuck. You're Roach. That's it.
He probably named it because of the color.
That would be even more pathetic.
But he also said that every horse he gets, he just names it Roach. So if he gets a new horse, its name is Roach. He gets another one, he calls it Roach 2.
So what happens when he stalls them bitches? It's like, you Roach number 1, you my bitch Roach number 2.
No, so he don't even do all that. He just names them Roach.
You are the new Roach. The other one.
He could get a whole ass Pegasus and he'd probably name it Roach. Seriously. That's how uncreative Garrett is.
Thanks for your help and wise counsel.
It's like, you just really have to just hit him in the head for it. You're like, really?
Scrub yourself
Really?
thoroughly.
There wasn't any creative name?
But I'll tell you true.
Come on now.
That hurts my fucking feelings so much.
Farewell.
That's how you know he really doesn't care. You know? That's how you just know. Whatever. It's a horse. Who cares?
Damn.
Well, what we're getting back to, we got, what was the, it was the best action adventure or role.
Oh yeah, we are still on best action adventure.
I went with Horizon. Of course I wanted to go with Uncharted, but because Lost Legacy is just an expansion, if it had been the same length or at least a little bit closer to Uncharted 4, I more than likely would have went with it, but I did vote for Horizon Zero Dawn. Assassin's Creed, I enjoyed it for the playthrough, but in the end, like Judy brought up before, just like all Assassin's Creed games, it gets extremely repetitive. What the hell are you talking about?
The adventure part is awesome. That part is awesome. The action part, not really.
Yeah, exploring ancient Egypt and Alexandria, that's awesome. I had no issues with doing that. Was fun. But once you get into the story and the combat, you know, but it starts out really well. I think the story starts out really strong, but as you get towards the end, it's like they just got to a point where they just said, fuck it, and we're gonna wrap this shit up, and now you gotta pay for DLC. Come get the season pass for more. That's kind of what it felt like they did.
That sounds horrid.
Like I said, it's very good for a playthrough. It's definitely my second favorite Assassin's Creed behind Black Flag. I mean, it definitely expanded on things that made Black Flag really good to me. But would I go back to it? I don't think so.
No. I can feel y'all on that. Well, I haven't played it, but still. Then again,
I never played Black Flag a lot, and but that's because I just really love the whole pirate theme.
Yeah, but
this is like, me, you know, and I didn't mind the repetitive combat because of it. Cause I'm like, oh, I'm a pirate, you know. It's definitely fun to do combat on a ship. I mean, that's the part that really got to me. It never got repetitive for me fighting with other ships. I always thought it was really fun. But yeah, like I said, Origins is great, but yeah, the action part can get very repetitive, but aside from that, adventuring the world itself and doing all the side quests, I think that's fun. I thought it was fun.
Okay. Alright, let's move on. We're going to best role-playing game. And for that category, we have Divinity, Original Sin 2, Final Fantasy 15, Nier Automata, Persona 5, and South Park: The Fractured But Whole.
You pronounced it wrong. It's butthole.
That makes sense. It's South Park.
The Fractured Butthole.
That definitely sounds painful. I don't think that's a porn I would watch.
It sounds like two cheeks parting.
Dude, that sounds like a really painful game port. That's what it sounds like. If we're being completely honest with ourselves.
What's wrong with you?
That's what it sounds like. Come on now.
The fractured butthole.
Yeah, it sounds like a porn that was made in someone's basement.
Oh my god.
But moving on to the actual game titles.
We got 3 good ones here, people. Count 4.
Wait, which one were them again?
Huh?
What were they again?
We got Divinity, Original Sin 2, Final Fantasy 15, Nier Automata, Persona 5, and South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
There.
Awesome.
Butthole.
I forgot what I chose.
That's a hard one too, especially since you got your boys, Tubes and Nines, and Persona 5.
Yeah, I think I chose Nier for that one. Yeah, I definitely chose Nier.
Gary, what did you choose for that?
P5. No debate.
I think I'm gonna go with P5 for this one too.
But all of those, well, the 3 that you played, they are definitely
They're memorable.
they did a great job as far as bringing in this new wave of JRPG games. I have not played, even though I did buy Tales of Berseria over the weekend, so I'm gonna have to wait and see how that plays out. But still, overall, I think this was a really, really good year for not only JRPGs but just Japanese games in general. There was a lot of them.
So that's that category.
I
Oh,
don't
go
think
ahead.
I've been into gaming as much as I have like this in a very long time.
Yeah, you know, you got a reconnected love. You know.
Yeah, I've played a really good amount of games this year. So yeah, my love for gaming has definitely been rekindled in a new way.
You know, that romance has been sparked again.
Yeah.
Not so fast, Rev.
Okay. Moving on to the best fighting game category. We have ARMS, Injustice 2,
Quite the banquet.
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, you suck ass, Nidhogg 2, and Tekken 7.
What up, Ike?
I haven't played any fighting games this year, so I can't put my input on this.
Gladly.
Fuck Injustice 2 because they killed all the shit that's canon, and Marvel vs. Capcom had good graphics, but no, not good character design. Nah. And no X-Men, even though I despise the X-Men. So yeah.
What's this about?
I've heard
guess
good
so,
things
yeah.
about Tekken 7. I haven't played it
Yeah.
myself, so I'm mostly gonna assume that one's probably going to win.
That's the only good one on this list, to be honest.
Yeah, you never know. Nintendo fanboys will go
He
with
hasn't
ARMS, and you know
harmed
that.
you. Leave him alone.
Yeah, ARMS has been pretty out there, yeah.
I mean, it looks fun. I don't think on the same level as Tekken, but it looks fun.
Yeah. And Injustice 2 is bringing in a lot of stuff with these crossovers. And their character design is good, but their story is complete ass. Horse shit.
I actually love how passionate you are about this feature.
The only reason I wanted to buy the game was because they had more characters and because they were gonna finish the story and, you know, make another part of it. But they basically said, fuck the whole story, let's make a completely new story that has nothing to do with all that shit we spent years covering. You know, let's just bring in more characters for crossovers and a bunch of stupid shit. Yeah. So yeah, you know, fuck that whole story. Plus, you know, they made fucking Blue Beetle look like George Lopez when he fucking took off his helmet. So hell no. Yeah, that's just how bad the level design was, or the character design and graphics were before they fixed it.
Who are you?
I'm Geralt of Rivia.
But you know, let me not hate. Let me stop drinking some of my haterade and put it down.
Haterade.
Live in this village alone.
He's home.
Lord have mercy.
Flabenhagel and Bevon. Only Klaus and he.
And we're gonna go ahead and address the fact that, like, as Gary said before, you can't have a Marvel vs. Capcom game without motherfucking X-Men. Even though I despise the X-Men with every last fiber of my being, and they can all fall in a well and die a painful death.
Dude,
Whoa, 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 whoa.
don't do that. How dare you?
You being real disrespectful right now, man.
Why do you hate the X-Men that much? How does one hate the X-Men that much? What have they done to you?
I'm not gonna sit here and say I hate all the members, but
Apparently you do because you said they can all go to hell. The hell's wrong with you?
okay.
Yeah, you said they
I
could
don't
all
hate
go
all-
fall in the ditch and shit. I'm just like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna go ahead and say, I don't hate all the X-Men. It's just specific members that make up the mainstream. Like Cyclops, I hate that bitch. I hate him. That nigga's a pussy ass motherfucker. I hate that son of a bitch.
Okay, first of all, please lower your little aggro levels. Okay? We're just asking for your opinion. You don't need to go into full-fledged hatred on this.
I'm sorry.
Facts.
Ordinary pig by the looks
Speak
of it.
like a normal
Every
person,
tongue is
please.
going wild. Yontek's right. They're enchanted.
Let me breathe.
Yeah, look at the pig on the screen and take a breather, please.
Wow.
Think of bacon, you know?
The fact that really? Why are there pigs in this house?
We're in Wilson.
You know what?
I would have thought you would have known that. This is how
isn't
Wilson
Nate
looked
Hunter,
before, you know, somewhat
isn't Nate.
colonization went into it.
Nigga, this ain't Nate Hunter.
I'm just saying.
This
is probably how
ain't
your
all
ancestors-
pork. This ain't Piggly Wiggly. This ain't my manager fucking Scott's house.
You never know, it might be.
Man, fuck. You know what?
The pigs. They do seem to be nice.
Squeal.
Aye,
Motherfucker.
because of the sorcery.
Anyway, moving on. Out of the best fighting category, we're going on
That
to
was
family
like
games.
the fucking X-Men animated series from back in the 90s is like one of the best hero cartoons ever.
Facts.
It is. It's I can agree to that. It's just, see, the thing with the X-Men is, as much as I read the stuff, like as much as I watched everything, and I loved X-Men Evolution and the cartoons, it's just with some of the shit what I've read and fucked with the X-Men, it's just a big ass no. Cause Wolverine, I get tired of him. I fucking hate Cyclops. Jean Grey is decent, but every time I fucking turn around, the Phoenix Force is back. What else? I hate Emma Frost with a fucking passion. I'm not gonna shit on Rogue and Gambit because I actually like their whole relationship.
Oh, I won't let you shit on those two. Especially Gambit, because he's my fucking favorite. You will not disrespect Gambit in my presence. I will fuck you up.
I actually like those two. I actually like those two, and they're fine.
I would be
Wolverine's
shocked if you
daughter-
didn't like them, to be honest.
Huh?
Where is he?
I'd be shocked if you didn't like it.
No, they're like their whole relationship dynamic. I can't shit on them. No, I will not. I refuse.
Uncle, how the hell can you not like Gambit though? I don't understand how you
That's
could not.
exactly what I'm saying. It's like I would be seriously
love
surprised
Gambit.
if somebody told me they didn't like it. I'd be like, but why?
I can't really hate him at all. I really can't. There's just no.
Well, I'm good that you're not all borderline crazy.
The only X-Men members I really like are probably Psylocke, Wolverine's daughter, who else? Jean Grey is interesting, but I get tired of that whole Phoenix Force shit every now and again. Gambit and Rogue are cool, and as much as I love Storm, I really get tired of seeing her. Like, every time you throw up X-Men, she's right there, and I'm just like, yeah, no. Then there's that
Well, I
whole
mean, she was
married.
one of like the very first black female superhero characters.
Yeah, and I'm not doubting that or anything. I give props where it's due.
But I mean, she'll always be iconic, so you're gonna expect that you're always gonna see her there. You know, it's not one of those things that, oh yeah, we're just gonna take her away. It's not. She's a very important figure out there. So.
Yeah. That and there's that whole, oh no, her and Black Panther, you know, were a thing once that people still love to hype up, and I'm just like, please shut the fuck up.
They're the same people that glorify, you know, like Joker and you know, Harley Quinn's relationship.
Yes, they are.
It's the dumbest thing, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all really can't see that they didn't work out. They were negative. What's wrong with you? Y'all want to like romanticize the dumbest things.
Yeah, they didn't even find out or care about it until Black Panther got announced as a movie. Like, I remember that fucking opening tweet. They were like, you know, Black Panther and Storm got married once. They even had a kid in one, you know, thing. And I'm like, y'all really would dig up some shit just to fucking make goals out of it. That's sickening.
People make goals out of everything.
You know, if you're gonna make goals out of something, make it out of something wholesome or something healthy.
People are dumb.
Yeah, no. But no. Yeah. No, it's just, truth be told, a lot of the mainstream X-Men members are just, yeah. And I know Gary, I know you got a hate for Wolverine, truth be told. Because I remember
they fucking showed, I mean, Wolverine, they just milked him to fucking death. It just got to a point where I couldn't stand seeing him anymore.
I can feel you on that.
I mean, he'll always be fantastic in the animated series, but the fact they just made so many movies with him, it was just like, I can't take it anymore. I don't want to see him again. I don't.
Yeah, they definitely overjuiced him.
Yeah, as long as we don't shit on his daughter, we're good.
How can you shit on his daughter? Like, we've barely seen her.
She's actually been in a lot of media. She was in the last few Marvel vs. Capcom games. She was in the movie. She's actually the new Wolverine. Like, she's everywhere.
Yeah, but it's because mostly of the movie that I've seen a lot of popularity around her from a lot of other people, you know.
Yeah, I can agree with you there. But yeah, let me not with the X-Men. But you need them in a Marvel vs. Capcom game because they just make the damn game.
Yeah, it's like, honestly, I could say, like, I think I'm not the biggest fan of, like, it's a Batman anymore. I just feel like they just made him way too overrated for me. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that I wouldn't like to see him ever again, because that would be a fucking lie. So I can understand why, you know, I don't understand why they, you know, it just still boggles my mind they decided to make this game without the X-Men. But a lot of people still bought it, which I don't know why. Okay, to each their own.
I feel you. I can respect this greatly.
Really, we just wanted them to be honest because we know that the X-Men are owned by Fox now. So if you could just come and just, you know, say that we couldn't get the rights for it, so we just couldn't do it, we apologize. But for them to come out and say, oh, we didn't put the X-Men in the game because we figured that the game would be better without them, that's bullshit.
That's what they said?
Yeah, they actually did.
I'm disgusted.
Yeah, and, you know, a lot of people bought that bullshit. That's the worst part.
You know, but you could put niggas like a random female hunter from Monster Hunter and fucking, who else? That nigga from King Arthur, whatever the fuck it was, or some shit. Like, I don't even know who that nigga is.
Yeah, it's just...
Disrespectful. Shit. But yeah. Okay. Moving on from best fighting game. I think we've said enough on that. Best family game. We got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Sonic Mania, that's a family game, Splatoon 2, and Super Mario Odyssey. Sonic Mania was a family game?
Takes key fits after all.
I didn't. I don't know. I haven't played it yet.
I thought that was a single person type of game. I didn't think all families could play that shit.
Well, I guess it's one of those games that maybe everybody in the family can play. I mean, even kids can play it. Maybe that's what why they put it in there?
Like all for ages and shit?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's a wonderful way of looking at it, yeah, I suppose. I don't really care about Splatoon.
I haven't played any of those, but I mean, the only one I played like Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. I don't know what's so different about that, and I know there's differences between the one that came on the Switch, but that's the closest one I played. So, yeah, I would pick Mario Kart just because I'm just gonna go with that one. And that would probably be the one I'd enjoy the most. So.
I'm gonna go with Mario Kart even though I didn't play none of these, because something tells me I'd rather play that over anything on this fucking list except save for Super Mario Odyssey.
Guess it was tasty.
Yeah. Why is this pig on my fucking screen? Why is there pig ass here? I'm not okay with this.
It's just a pig. Stop getting so triggered.
But nigga, raw for you at? Why is this ass just?
The village alderman.
Why are the hams here, bro?
The local herbalist.
Because Geralt's talking to it. Why are you just focusing on his ass?
I'm Geralt. Know this place?
Let's move on.
We in a temple.
Okay, best strategy game. You have Halo Wars. Oh wait, no, Gary, were you gonna give your input on best family game? Or?
See you later.
I will go with Mario Kart.
So we're all in agreement with Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Stains on the shirt.
All right, best strategy games. We got Halo, that Mario and Rabbids, Total War Sledgehammer, Tooth and Tail, XCOM 2, War of the Chosen. I ain't played none of them. I don't give a fuck about none of them.
One gold coin at the bottom.
I haven't played either.
Gold must have been kept
I
here.
can't really say anything on it.
Is that a fucking pig shrine?
They probably have one underground at Wilson.
I like this. This is ancient Wilson right here.
This is some shit.
This is how it all started.
This is all some bullshit. That's what the. You know what? This whole damn. You gotta throw the whole fucking temple away.
There was gold here.
Technically, it looks like it is thrown away. I mean, look at the mold.
Oh my god.
Gotta talk to Yontek about this.
The one thing that really fucks with me is that you can even see the pig's butthole.
We're in a temple, and there was a tub full of gold.
Just shut up, please.
Yontek had the key, showed it to the villagers.
Please,
and they got greedy.
just stop.
Thing is, they realized the gold might be protected by a curse.
Anyways,
To lift it, we
who else? Best sports racing game. I think we have FIFA 18, Forza, Gran Turismo, NBA 2K18, fuck NBA, Pro Evolution Soccer, Project Cars 2.
I only played the Gran Turismo demo, so I can't really say anything on this category.
I can't say shit because I don't give a fuck about usually sports or racing unless it's like Mario Kart or something else.
I don't really have much to say either. I played 2K18, thought it was trash. I didn't play any of the racing games. didn't play Forza. I didn't play Project Cars. Just skip this bullshit.
We skipping. Best multiplayer, we have Call of Duty World War II. Trash.
Wait a whole ass minute. Did you really just say full of Oh my goodness.
It's booty, bro.
Oh my god.
It's booty nuggets.
Oh, okay. Continue.
We have Destiny 2, Fortnite, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, PUBG, Splatoon 2. That's it.
Run, Roach.
Can we just...
We can just skip this, I think. I don't really care for multiplayer games.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I don't really give a fuck out of it.
Unless it's Mario Kart, but that's it. So it would even, my biased opinion wouldn't even make sense.
None of ours would. Yeah, so we're gone. Yeah. What the fuck is that? Is that a red wolf? Is that a fox?
That's an alpha wolf.
Ah, big ass alpha.
That's why he's the alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah, trouble in the village again.
Let's see. Most anticipated game. Alright, something interesting. God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, Red Dead Redemption 2, and The Last of Us Part 2. Alright? Y'all can take y'all's pick and take y'all's time.
That one was really hard for me, honestly, because I wanted to choose between God of War and Last of Us 2, but at the end, I went with The Last of Us 2.
Another game you have yet to beat.
You know what?
There's a point.
Dude, man, you have got to finish The Last of Us like ASAP, man.
It's not that hard short from what y'all tell me.
Hey, I started Red Dead Redemption today, okay? I think you can start The Last of Us.
Yeah, sure. I'll give it a, I'll give it a whirl. I don't mind doing that on my free time. I'll do it today,
What
actually.
free time?
Last one.
You don't have no free time. If that been the case, you would have finished Horizon like 5 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, after I started doing that managing thing, y'all told me about being an adult, being responsible and shit, doing my work and on my job. Yeah, I actually do. That's how I was able to play Ultra Sun and Moon.
That literally just came out yesterday.
You know,
he really tried to make a point about a game that just came out.
It's the most bullshit argument. Like, that literally just came out yesterday. How much did you think you were gonna advance in that bitch? Really?
I reserved time for that hoe.
What do you mean time? It's only been out of a whole day. 2 days. Reserve time, my ass.
Can you uncurse him?
You crazy.
Oh.
Oh, bro. You and your arguments.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this. If you're getting a fucking laugh out of this, then I really cannot. I don't know how the hell you're gonna react when you're looking at my face while we have this, cause my face is literally all vivid as fuck when I get into these with y'all.
Why the hell are we talking about your face?
You know what?
Well, I mean, I don't know if my face is funny looking. I'm gonna assume that it is.
I know where the gold is.
But I mean,
I feel like you're gonna have that resting bitch face. That evil face.
my face is a resting bitch face.
Villagers need to be there when you do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, I can definitely confirm that. It really is.
Like, it doesn't move unless she just falls out laughing. Be like, this isn't like she be me mugging all day and shit.
I nearly had me mugging like a lot, but my facial muscles do move when I laugh. It's not made of plaster.
Yeah, mine, I'll go ahead and say mine are really, really fucking vivid, almost to the point it's cartoonish.
So you're a Cuphead character?
You know what?
Cause that's pretty much what you're saying, is that what, you're an anime character now?
I was actually about to say that.
What are you, a JoJo character?
What character do you know has some of the most vivid facial animations? I'll put it to you that way.
Every JoJo character?
I swear to God, I thought there was one who did.
Of
Probably like Deku. I make a lot of noises like him, so yeah.
We're gonna ignore Naruto?
Oh yeah. Wait, no, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does. He does, doesn't
dramatic. Naruto's dramatic, loud. You know, in the first season. Come on now. He makes like the dumbest facial expressions.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's exactly what the fuck type of facial expressions I make. Okay.
So, you're a cheap knockoff Naruto?
You know what? I appreciate if you don't.
Well, it's true.
Just now. Now.
Okay.
Nah, you should see when my face when it's sat on set. Why are there so many damn pigs here?
Because this whole mission is about pigs, fam.
Bruh.
It is. Even I know that, and I'm not even gonna play the game.
Oh my god.
Girl go tell the pigs move it, lard ass.
Oh my god.
He really did say that was good, lard ass. You really got him in the line too. I'm done. All straight and symmetrical and shit. They all nice and single file now, y'all.
On a cha-cha line.
Oh my god. It really scares me how perfect you got these niggas in the line, bruh. Like, what type of sorcery?
You would think people in Wilson would know how to do this type of sorcery too.
Yeah, I figured that y'all come out the womb being taught this shit.
Except for Igor. Igor's waiting for us. Remember, once
We are
we're
not
there,
from the
we're
country.
going back where it was.
You get the
Really?
pigs.
Y'all definitely
No.
not from
Do
a
the
state.
carrying and dropping off.
We may have a lot of bitches with a bunch of southern accents and a bunch of other shit. And we may have a lot of fucking...
Go, go.
We have Nate
move.
Hunter and some other shit. But we are not some country motherfuckers, okay?
So what are y'all?
North Carolinian. Just plain simple.
Wait a minute, North Carolinian? That's how you say it? No, I'm being serious. Like, is that how you really say it? Like New Yorker? Is that how you say
Yeah,
it?
that's how you... Yeah, like Carolinians.
No,
like,
no,
legit.
I'm being genuine. I really didn't know that. I'm not even trying to be sarcastic.
Like, that's literally one way of looking at it, yeah, because, like, you have South Carolina. Like, if you're from South Carolina, you damn sure is... Yeah, there are a bunch of rednecks. I mean, our town is redneck, but we ain't that country. We at least have some sophistication. Over there, I don't know about them.
Do they have toilets that flush?
Really?
I'm just saying, because you're making it sound as though they're literally living in the backwoods, so I'm gonna assume that they have no plumbing.
South Carolina, I've never really fucked with them, but from what I've been told,
Dude,
it's
you
even
barely
more...
fuck with anything outside of Wilson. Of course you're not fucking with South Carolina.
You know what?
You would swear to God.
Protect them.
Oh, that nigga just came out of nowhere.
Defend them.
Yeah, at least with North Carolina, you know, we have outlets, not fucking trees at colleges and shit, and all sorts of ish.
So South Carolina has none of that shit? Are you telling me that whole state is country?
It's country, but I have to go, I don't know.
So you're just speaking out of your ass like usual?
I'm speaking off of some of the people I have met down there, and from based off one of the colleges I've seen, so...
Oh, okay.
This is gonna be the dumbest mission I've ever done in playing this damn game.
What the fuck?
And of course I died. Escorting some fucking pigs. You know what, man? Okay, what's the category? Cause I'm not doing this shit again.
It was most anticipated game.
Okay. Yeah, this was definitely the most difficult category. I did pick Red Dead, even though I am fucking pumped for The Last of Us Part 2. I can't wait, but Rockstar is my favorite gaming development team. And Red Dead Redemption was my game of the year for last generation. I mean, game of the generation. So yeah, definitely Red Dead Redemption Part 2. But Last of Us is gonna be lit, of course. So, yeah.
I can't wait till that and God of War. That's gonna be awesome.
I'm fucking with God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, and those are probably about it.
That Spider-Man looks really, really good. That Spider-Man looks really, really good. Even though I know I'm not gonna play it, but it definitely looks good.
Wow. Yeah.
What? I don't play those kind of games. So, not because of, I don't like them, it's just, they don't interest me.
I feel you. Yeah, it definitely does. Then there are a couple key elements in it that have me thinking, I'm like, damn, this could really be outside the normal average Spider-Man game. What type of references, what type of Easter eggs we're gonna have here? Not to mention, this is the first inclusion of a villain I've read about for a long time. So they're really making a bold and a gutsy move.
Well, let's hope that it all comes out good for them and that the game's successful.
Yeah.
All I know is that in exactly 2 months, I'm gonna have Ni no Kuni 2, and that's gonna be a wrap for me. We're
not gonna hear from you for the next few months.
Okay, first of all, you know it's a lie because I will stream that. So yeah.
Well, let's hope that you can stream it because it seems like damn, like all the JRPGs they won't let you stream them.
I was about to say, yeah, that probably would be happening to that considering how highly regarded this shit is gonna be.
It better not pull Persona 5 on me because if it does, I'm gonna throw it out the window.
Yeah, because like I wanted to see if I could stream Tales and I can't even do it.
What? That makes no sense.
These fucking, because they're so highly regarded and apparently their communities and shit, that's so story driven.
That's gonna piss me off if they actually do that because I want
you know what I'm saying? Don't you have to ask permission with those types of things? Because I've seen people stream the damn games beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, if you have recording equipment, like you could stream Persona up to a certain date, but you can't stream it through the PS4.
That's the stupidest thing. I can understand Persona 5, but other games? That's dumb.
Yeah, people don't want them to fucking spoil the story and shit, but you know, everybody's pretty much gonna text it, tell it, let them know, play all these other ways, but you know.
Well, that would be a damn shame if I couldn't stream it, because I really do want to do that. But if it comes to that, I'm still gonna have fun playing it anyway. So, I don't know. After that, that's pretty much a bunch of bullshit behind, you know, most anticipated. What kind of country came out of you when you said that? You know what? That was definitely some redneck type shit. No. Yeah, it was. No. Yeah. No, it was Goofy. Yeah. Nah, that was redneck.
It was not. I refuse.
It was.
Yeah.
Shit.
All right, Brian. I think that's gonna just about do it. So, how about we go ahead and wrap this bullshit up?
Yeah, let's do it.
You goofy ass nigga.
Really?
Yep.
I'll do it again. Yeah, let's do it. Alright. Alright, y'all. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for listening to us, putting up with our bullshit, listening to us ramble.
This ain't us.
And
This is all your bullshit. Don't include us in it. This is all you.
Honest.
anyways, yeah, what he said, you know, I can't wait to see what comes out for this game and what's most nominated and all this shit. So keep y'all's ears tuned, keep them to the ground and shit. You know, love your PS4s, hate your Xboxes, love whatever the fuck you play.
Wait a minute. What?
Huh?
What is wrong with you? What are you doing? Oh my goodness, you know what? Please ignore what he says. Love your Xbox,
Let me do it.
okay?
I got it.
I personally don't fuck with it, but please love your consoles. Regardless of anything, y'all know y'all have fun playing on them. That's what matters. So, don't listen to him. He's speaking shit.
Let me stop.
He's a fanboy, you know. But, you know, the comments made by Brian belong to Brian and Brian alone. They are not associated with Gary or Judio. There you go. Disclaimer.
And they're not, you know, I don't even know what they are, to be honest with you. He just speaks out of his ass a lot.
You know what?
You do.
Like you don't.
Excuse me?
You do. Then you said it one time beforehand.
Scusa? Con
Did you just-
permiso?
What the hell? Okay.
How dare you slander my good name? I'm wholesome as fuck.
Okay.
Absolutely incredible.
No.
Wow. I feel offended.
But anyways, guys, we'll catch y'all later. Are we streaming tomorrow? Or it's your turn now, right?
Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I'll stream, but yeah, stream.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll figure that out. We'll come to that tomorrow. Y'all, you know, enjoy y'all gaming, enjoy y'all night. Let us know what happens. Come back again, and we will catch y'all later. Peace.
Buenas noches.
You need to apologize to the Xbox fans out there because you just slandered the fuck out of them.
I apologize to all Microsoft and Xbox One, Xbone, Scorpio supporters.
That was
These
the
are all
most
jokes,
fakest shit. Man, I'm turning the stream off. Now, when they go ahead and blow your fucking Twitter up and start threatening you and shit, don't ask why. Just think about what you said here.